Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from Gas South Arena. We have got the second game of a two-game set between the Atlanta Gladiators and the Utah Grizzlies. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. Welcome to the broadcast and welcome to the second game of the season for Atlanta. The Gladiators here today will look to improve to 2-0, coming off of a thrilling 3-2 overtime victory here at Gas South Arena last night. Andrew, that game was loads of fun.
Yeah, great game last night from the Gladiators. Great first ECHL head coaching win for Gladiators coach Matt Ginn. I think the Gladiators played exactly the way that Coach Ginn wanted them to. Played with pace, hard on pucks. I thought the Glads looked great last night, even though they did go down a 2-1 deficit. Were able to come back in the third and win it in overtime.
It was a stellar victory for Atlanta as they capped off the night with a 3-2 overtime victory thanks to Louis Boudon's heroics. Let's tell you all about it. As first, it was the Grizzlies opening the scoring last night. About midway through the first period, Ty Voigt comes around the net on a wraparound chance. He's able to wrap it by Ethan Hyder. I think it might have hit a stick in front. Nonetheless, it ends up into the back of the net, and Utah had a 1-0 lead. No penalties called in the first period last night, but the Gladiators do outshoot at Utah 14-6 in the first period. So a very productive first period for Atlanta on the shot count, but they don't get on the board. Utah takes the 1-0 lead into the locker room. But then we go to the second period. That's when Anthony Firriolo starts to steal the show. Firriolo ended up having 2 goals last night. His first one in the opening minute of the second period tied the game for Atlanta at 1, as it was Chad Nychuk doing the dirty work down here on the near side boards of the Utah zone, wins a board battle, quickly gets it to Ethan Scardina. Scardina locates Firriolo in the slot. He shoots and does not miss. He buries it for his first goal of the year and his first goal of the night. Utah would then respond later on in the period, as it was Jack Ricketts getting his first professional goal that gave Utah the lead once more, as Ricketts scored 7-11 into the second period to give Utah its 2-1 lead back. That goal was assisted by Danny Genev and Luke Lemaster to give Utah the 2-1 lead. Gladiators did have a power play in that period as Utah was called for too many men on the ice. Weren't able to convert, but some really good things happening on that power play for Atlanta. More on that in a moment. We swing to the third period. Gladiators down by 1, trying to tie the game. Does not take them long. 2:28 into period 3. Anthony Firriolo again puts it into the back of the net. This time it's a long-range shot from the blue line. Goes through traffic and into the back of the net. Firriolo's got his second of the night. He's now got half of his goal total from last year in just one game. He scored 4 goals last year for Atlanta. As that second goal from Firriolo was assisted by Alex Young, his first point of the season. And Chad Nychuk gets on the stat sheet again. Nychuk finished the night with 2 assists for a multi-point game. Anthony Firriolo's 2 goals last night was actually his first multi-goal game in his professional career. He does have 5 instances where he had more than 1 point in one night. So it's a big night for Anthony Firriolo. He tied it up at 2. We get to the end of the third period, and not a lot of penalties were called last night. But to that point, just one on either side, but late in the third period, Utah gets called for interference. Jack Ricketts goes to the box. Gladiators go to the power play. 23 seconds left in regulation. They don't score in regulation, but you swing to overtime. Talked about that Gladiators power play before, how it was doing some really good things. That's what gets the job done for Atlanta in overtime, as it was Louis Boudon scoring in overtime for Atlanta to make it a 3-2 final score, and the Gladiators win it in OT. But Andrew, stellar showing from the Gladiators all around. They come from behind to get the win.
Yeah, I loved what the Gladiators power play did yesterday. 1 for 2 on the power play, but even the one that they didn't score on looked great. A lot of smart shots, patience with the puck. They're not shooting the puck just to shoot the puck on net. They're looking for open lanes, and they're moving the puck efficiently to get good shots on goal and good scoring chances. Even though they didn't score on that first power play, I thought it created a lot of momentum for the Gladiators. And then that carried into overtime with the 4-on-3 power play in overtime with Francis, Sylvester, Boudon, and McNamee. They worked it around up top. One-timer from Sylvester from the point. McNamee in front, creating a screen. Puts the rebound on net. Wells makes the first save, kicks it out. Boudon's there to clean it up. Overtime winner for the Gladiators there.
Yeah, lost in all the commotion last night. Both goaltenders played very, very well. Dylan Wells stopped 33 of 36 in the loss for Utah. Ethan Heider stopping 20 of 22, got the victory for Atlanta. Today, we'll see a different face in net for the Gladiators as TJ Semptenfelter will make his second professional start and his ECHL debut and Gladiators debut here today. We'll get to that in a moment when we get to the starting lineups. But, Andrew, going back to yesterday, Anthony Firriolo had quite the night. 2 goals. What a night for him.
Yeah, I thought Firriolo very patient with the puck at the blue line, especially on that second goal. He grabs it at the right point, walks it inside a little bit, waits for those third line forwards, create a little traffic in front of Wells, throws a puck towards the net with traffic, hit something out front. We thought it was Carson Denemy for a minute. Yep. Wasn't. Firriolo awarded with the goal. I thought he had a great game yesterday with those 2 goals, even on that first one. Scardina grabbed the puck out of the corner. Firriolo pinches down from his point a little bit, getting into the high slot. Creates a 2-on-1 between him and Scardina. Scardina slides it over for him, and Firriolo buried it low glove side on Wells.
And Chad Nychuk did have 2 assists last night as well, as Nychuk assisted on both Firriolo goals in the Atlanta victory. But again, Utah does have a point in every single game this season. This is game number 3 on the season for the Grizzlies. As Ty Voigt, 2 goals in his last 2 games. He's off to a hot start to start the season.
Yeah, that goal that he scored last night, I thought it was a great play by him. Gladiators D was sagging off him a little bit more towards the inside. Voigt took his open ice, skates it around the net, throws it towards the net. Kids watching, when you're playing, never a bad idea to throw the puck towards the net. Voigt tries the wraparound, obviously not able to get on the first attempt. Hit something out front, probably a Gladiator stick or skate, and ended up in the back of the net.
And last night, if you joined us, we talked a lot about the Gladiators' depth and more particularly their top 6.
Yep.
Andrew, you thought they looked great. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, especially that second line. That second line there of Lind, Boudon, and Francis. Obviously, Boudon had the overtime winner on the power play last night, but I thought at 5-on-5, that line looked great. They were all over the place. Kalen Lind, in his second professional game last night, I thought he looked great. He was all over the ice there, guy.
He really settled in for Atlanta. Tonight, he will get back into the lineup on that same line with Boudon and Francis. And that reminds me, let's get to the starting lineups here tonight as the Gladiators are set to come out of the tunnel any moment from now. So the same starting lineup from yesterday gets the nod here today. Just one change, and that change is in net. We'll start with the top line for Atlanta. Cody Sylvester, wearing number 16, gets the start at left wing, standing at 5'11", 192 pounds from Kelowna, BC, in his 13th professional year. And his first as the captain of the Gladiators. Sylvester did finish last night with a point. That was an assist on the Boudon OT winner. Starting down the middle, number 27, Mike McNamee, playing in his second professional game after taking a break for the last 4 years, coming out of retirement. McNamee also had an assist last night on the game-winning goal. He stands at 6 foot even, 179 pounds, and hails from Perth, Ontario. Starting at right wing for Atlanta, number 37, Ethan Scardina, stands at 6'1", 192 pounds from South Surrey, BC. It was a big night last night for Scardina. He got his first professional point on the first Firriolo goal. Speaking of Anthony Firriolo, he's back into the starting lineup tonight. He gets the nod at left D, standing at 5'11", 165 pounds from Montville, New Jersey. Firriolo, wearing number 12, looked to build upon what an impressive performance it was yesterday for Firriolo. Next to him, starting at right D, it's number 39, Chad Nychuk, coming off of a 2-assist performance yesterday on both Firriolo goals. That pairing looked phenomenal for Atlanta and definitely chipped in offensively. For Nychuk, wearing number 39, stands at 6'1", 194 pounds, comes from Rossburn, Manitoba, and is currently on an AHL contract with the Gladiators affiliate, the Milwaukee Admirals. And the big storyline here today, this afternoon for Atlanta, the lone change in the starting lineup, number 35, TJ Semptenfelter, will make his Gladiators debut between the pipes. It's his second career professional game. Last year, spent his time at the University of North Dakota, where last season he went 18-11-2, had a 2.64 goals against average, a .910 save percentage, and had one shutout with Nodak. Got in one game with the Bridgeport Islanders of the AHL. That was his first professional start. Tonight will be his second, as Semptenfelter was assigned to the Gladiators by the Milwaukee Admirals about a week or two ago, as he is currently on an AHL contract. this season. So that is your starting lineup for the Gladiators. That second line stays the same, as really that was the only change, was Semptimphelter, Annette, and Hyder was out. Second line is number 61, Kaylin Lynn, with number 29, Louis Boudon down the middle. Number 86, Ryan Francis slides in on the right wing, as Carson Denemy is the left wing for the third line, wearing number 18. At the center position, it's number 13, Alex Young, with Isaac Walter rounding out that third line, wearing number 22 at right wing. For the fourth line, it is number 7, Mickey Burns, with number 71, Joey Cipollone as the center. Number 24, Ryan Nolan rounds out the starting 12 forwards for the Gladiators here tonight. On defense, you got the Firriolo and Nychuk line getting the start here tonight. The second pairing is number 6, alternate captain Andrew Jarvis, with number 2, Brendan Less. The third pairing for Atlanta is number 8, Ryan Conroy, with number 3, Jack Robilotti. DJ Semptimphelter gets the start, wearing number 35. The backup tonight is Ethan Hyder, who picked up the win yesterday, stopping 20 of 22 for Atlanta. He gets the day off as Semptimphelter makes his Gladiators debut. Scratches for Atlanta here today, number 55, Peter Morgan, with number 11, Zach Yoder, along with number 20, Connor Galloway, are all healthy scratches. Number 23, Riley Appelt, is currently out with a lower body injury, as is number 74, Dylan Carabia. Gladiators head coach Matt Ginn picked up his first win as Gladiators head coach yesterday. He'll look to get his second here today, as will assistant coach Zach Fennell. And that rounds out your Gladiators for the afternoon. Now the lineup for the Utah Grizzlies, as top line is number 59, Tyler Gratton at left wing. Number 10, Grizzlies captain Mick Messner down the middle, with number 23, Reed Lebster, rounding out that first line for Utah. Not quite sure who the Grizzlies are going to start here tonight. Have not received that information as of right now, as the Gladiators make their way out of the tunnel. But I will relay you the Grizzlies lineup for the day. The second line is number 22, Neil Shea, who is on a AHL contract with the Colorado Eagles. His center tonight is number 16, Luke Manning, and Ty Voigt, wearing number 96, who had a goal yesterday, will round out that second line at right wing for the Grizzlies. On the third line is number 28, Jack Ricketts, who scored his first pro goal yesterday, wearing number 28. Down the middle, his center is number 26, Danny Geniev, who assisted Ricketts on his first pro goal. The right wing on the third line tonight is number 77, Griffin Ness. Interestingly enough, the Grizzlies are only dressing 17 skaters for the second straight night, as they only have 2 forwards listed on their fourth line. Number 24, John Gillot, is listed at left wing, and number 11, Evan Friesen, is the center. So looks like the Grizzlies are going to be playing down a forward here today, as they do have 6 defensemen in the lineup. As Garrett Pike, with 2 goals in the season opener for Utah in Greenville on Friday, is starting at the starting on the first D pairing for the Grizzlies, with number 42, Christian Felton. Luke Salem, wearing number 6, is paired up with 21, Noah Gansky, who slides back into the lineup, as Luke Lamaster is a scratch. Number 8, Avery Winslow, and number 5, Colby Enns round out the D pairings on the third pairing for Utah. Yesterday, we saw Dylan Wells between the pipes. He gets the night off as well, so we'll have 2 fresh new Metminders here today for both sides, as it'll be number 29, Dryden McKay, getting the start for the Grizzlies here today. McKay, a legend in the NCAA, holds the record for the most wins and the most shutouts in NCAA history. He did win the Hobie Baker Award a few years ago, as he is one of 3 goalies to ever win the award. And so that is your lineups here tonight, as the Grizzlies head coach is John Buchanan. Assistant coaches are Ryan Anderson and Jack Skilly. We're about set for first period puck drop here in Atlanta. Coming up next, the national anthem.
Oh, blimey. You've let us astray again.
But these maps are so tricky.
I've got your treasure.
Do tell, Daddy.
Play Keno and win money every 3.5 minutes. Kevin, give the signal. You pick 10 numbers. Fire! Then Keno picks 20.
The more we be matching,
The more we be winning! Ah! And now we feast!
Or not. Win up to $100,000 every 3.5 minutes playing Keno.
We are all set and ready to go here in Atlanta. It's the Gladiators and the Grizzlies for the 8th all-time meeting and the 2nd meeting of the weekend. The Gladiators hold the all-time series as they have been pretty good against Utah all-time. 4-1-2 are the Gladiators after their overtime victory last night. As it looks like Utah, you can now see on the ice, we know who their starting line is going to be. It is going to be the Salem and Gansky pairing to start on defense for Utah, and the starting forward group is the Mick Messner line. As again, Atlanta will send out the top line of Cody Sylvester, Mike McNamee, and Ethan Scardina to start the game, and on defense, it'll be number 12, Anthony Firriolo, with number 39, Chad Nychuk. TJ Semptimphelter making his ECHL debut and Gladiators debut here this afternoon. The AHL contract guy from Milwaukee hails from Marlton, New Jersey, and spent last season with the University of North Dakota. Very impressive showing there. 31 games played, 18-11 to the record, 2.64 goals against average, 910 save percentage, and 1 shutout last season with Nodak. Across from him is Dryden McKay for the Grizzlies. We've got a good one on tap here today as the Gladiators are wearing their specialty jerseys for the 2nd straight day. It is a white jersey with gold numbers and gold trim. They will skate from right to left here to begin action, as the Grizzlies wearing black jerseys with white numbers and professional green trim will skate from left to right this afternoon. As they fire up a Sunday crowd down there at ice level. About ready to get started here on press row. Andrew, last night the Gladiators were behind at the end of the first period, the end of the second period, but rallied back to win in overtime. Although tonight you'd like to think that they want to get that first goal out of the way and take an early lead.
Yeah, I think any hockey coach would say, hey, let's go out there, get this first goal early. But I thought the Gladiators did a great job of battling back yesterday.
Puck is dropped, and we are underway for Game 2 between the Gladiators and the Grizzlies. Utah wins the faceoff. They'll plug it down to Semptimphelter. His first touch is a spin around to the near side half wall where the Grizzlies get possession back. It's Gansky to Shea, feeds it to the middle, just a tad offline for Manning. Puck rolls around to the far sideboard where McNamee tries to surge ahead. He has it batted away from his stick. Scardina tried to help out and get a steal, but Utah has clean possession as they stretched up to the Gladiators' blue line and dump it down for their first change. Back behind his own net is Anthony Firriolo, coming off of his first pro career multi-goal game. He'll feed it to the right side, as chugging on ahead is Ryan Francis. Has Boudon, feeds it to the middle, looking for Lynn, clanked out the back of his skate, and Utah takes advantage. They rumble up ice with speed. Gretton on the backhand fires it off the side of the net to the left of Semptimphelter. Has the rebound on the far side, pedals it around to the near half wall. We're waiting for it is Lynn, playing in his 3rd career professional game, lifts it up to Francis. On the left wing, gains the circle and shoots, and McKay makes the save.
Smart play by Lynn there to get out of his own zone. Had nothing on the wall. Francis was cutting across the neutral zone, just flips it up to him there. Francis is able to skate into it and get a decent shot on goal there.
If you could use one word to describe Ryan Francis, I think a lot of people would say speed, as he's a very quick skater, and he showcased that ability there to create that chance. Off the ensuing face-off on the near side, Grizzlies win it and look to plug it out of their own end. They do. They get it to the red line where the Gladiators take possession. Jarvis from the left wing winds it up at the red line and drives it to the right wing. Gladiators pinch to try and keep the puck in. It's Brendan Less, the former Adirondack Thunder defenseman, acquired in a trade this offseason. He keeps it in the zone and gives it to Walter. Isaac Walter on the left wing, cycles up high, feeds it to the middle. High slot shot by Jarvis, just whistles wide. Rebound comes to Young, goes to the high slot, drifts towards his right, gains the circle, goes below, cuts around the net, moves to his forehand and shoots. And his shot goes through the crease and out to the right point where Jarvis keeps it in. Good zone time here for Atlanta. Young, below the left circle, creeps up higher. Point to point, has an open man. Fresh off the bench was Robilotti, couldn't quite corral it. Gets it to Denemy, takes a return feed, gets it to the middle for Young, but he flubbed on a shot, and Reed Lebster will skate it out. 2 minutes and 15 seconds gone by here so far. 1 shot on goal, and it belongs to Atlanta. The afternoon still very much young on what is Bluey Day here in Atlanta. Bluey and Bingo from the hit show Bluey are on the concourse. Mickey Burns takes it in on the left wing, takes a shot, pad save McKay, and someone was crashing towards the net. That was Nolan, and he got checked up high, and he is in a bit of discomfort as the whistle blows behind the play. And Nolan just now gets up, and he's leaking. Ryan Nolan dripping blood here, and hopefully he's going to be all right, lumbering towards the bench. Athletic trainer Nick Nelson's going to check him out, but hope the best for Ryan Nolan. He is leaking quite considerably. You can see a trail from near the crease by McCain leading all the way back to the Gladiator bench, and Nolan will go to the locker room. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he's able to return at any point this afternoon.
Yeah, I want to go back to that last shift right there by the Gladiators' fourth line that forced that icing. Mickey Burns cutting to the left side of the zone. Takes a shot. He's not trying to score there. He's trying to put it off the left pad of McKay, have him kick out a rebound, and he had a guy crash into the middle. It's a great setup there by that fourth line, trying to create some traffic in front, try and bang one home there.
Yeah, I really like what the Gladiators were able to do there in the offensive zone. It seemed like 2 lines were able to get some good time in there, as it looked like the young Walter and Denemy line put in a good shift there on the tail end of it. But you think about Ryan Francis, when he's been able to do in this game, that shift kind of started it all. He's really been using his speed here today, and that really is the name of the game for Francis.
Yeah, we talked about the Gladiators' first and second line in the pregame show, but I thought it was the third and fourth line on these last 2 shifts that have really got the momentum going for Atlanta here early.
And after the game, we both kind of talked amongst ourselves. We thought that as the night went on last night, the Gladiators from top to bottom really started to look like they were gelling in terms of chemistry. It started with the Sylvester line. Then it was that second line that you loved with Boudon, Lind, and Francis. And it just kind of trickled down from there. Then it was Denemy, Young, and Walter, Burns, Cipollone, and Nolan. So it really comes to no surprise to me that head coach Matt Ginn and assistant coach Zach Van Elm going with the same lineup here today.
Yeah, I mean, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I thought, obviously, last night, first game of the season, you can't really replicate a game. You can do all you can in training camp, and I know the inner squad, but you can't replicate game speed. So obviously a lot of these guys, their first game playing together on the same line, it's going to take some time to gel. It's going to take some time to form some chemistry. But I thought as the game went on last night, the Gladiators really came together as a group.
Face off to the left of McKay. Won by Cipollone. Gets it to Nychuk. Had 2 apples last night on both Firriolo goals. Sets up Cipollone for a quick shot. Kicked away by McKay. The rebound comes to the right point where Firriolo tries to backhand it between his legs to Cipollone. Pass is intercepted by Friesen, and so Cipollone will give chase deep in his own territory. Wheels it up to Francis on the right wing. Spins it back to Cipollone, and he's got a lot of open space at the red line. They'll bombard it in. Puck rolls around to the far side. Board battle ensues in the far corner. Puck leaks over to Gansky. Gansky did not play yesterday as he is in for Utah as Luke Lamaster comes out. The Grizzlies take flight. Here is Gansky from his own blue line. Tried to lift it up to Griffin Ness. Pass, backpedals back to Ness. And now moving upwards is Ricketts. He gets shut down at the Gladiator blue line. And now winding it in is McNamee. Out to play it is McKay. Has Pike open. Grizzlies shuffle it along the left wing. 2-on-2 up ice. Develops into a 3-on-2. But overskinning it was Geniev, and he collides with Sylvester. Now the Gladiators take an opportunity up ice. They'll feed it to the middle, just away from McNamee. Robilotti, who threw that pass, gets it back. Centers for a quick try by Francis, but it's poked off his stick at the last second. Uses his speed to catch back up to it. Miscommunication there for the Gladiators as an errant pass goes onto the tape of Utah. Manning on the right wing has the puck nipped away by Boudon. The overtime hero yesterday flings it to the left wing. Here is Lind moving with Francis. Francis on his backhand locates Lind below the goal line. He checks Colby Enns, who loses his stick, and Francis has the puck. Slithers over to the near half wall. Tries to fling a pass to the middle. Grizzlies take care of it defensively and get out to the neutral zone. Luke Manning gains the attacking zone. Drifts towards his left and fires it in behind the net. Shea tries to rip it up top, but the pass is picked off by Lind. Turnover at center. Puck up for grabs. Conroy has it for Atlanta. Escape behind Semptimphelter as the net comes off. And we get a stoppage. 5:03 into the first.
Yeah, I think if you're Coach Matt Ginn, you got to love the way that the Gladiators have started this game. Most of the play has been down in Utah's end. The Gladiators being great on the forecheck, possessing the puck well. I think the Gladiators have had a great start here 5 minutes in, Guy.
Yeah, they have. And offense is the best defense sometimes. And TJ Semptimphelter has yet to face a shot in his ECHL career. No shots on goal for the Grizzlies thus far, 3 for Atlanta. So 5:03 in. TJ Semptimphelter, not a whole lot of work to do. I think the net coming off behind him might have been the most action he's seen so far today. Faceoff comes out to the neutral zone at the top of the Gladiator blue line. The Grizzlies win that draw and pluck it down to Semptimphelter. And his backhand dishes it to Walter on the far side. Alex Young with it for Atlanta. Wanted Walter, but the pass behind. It springs back to Young, and this time is able to locate Nychuk, and the Gladiators are on the move. Denemy, cross ice, has Firriolo. He fires. It was off the stick of Ends and out of play.
Nice breakout there for the Gladiators coming out of their own zone. Got knocked off the puck there a couple of times, but they were patient with the puck and they possessed it. They didn't panic. They reworked it, and they were able to get a nice clean look there for Firriolo on net. Not on net. It got poked off his stick, but still good zone entry. Even better exit out of their own zone there for the Gladiators.
As of right now, the Gladiators have the puck in the offensive zone. Jarvis puts it towards the goal. Denemy was there, but it does not sneak behind McKay. Manning checked hard there by Jarvis. 5'9", uses every bit of muscle that he's got. Gladiators try and get possession after the puck was shaken free, but Salem and the Grizzlies will emerge to the neutral zone. With it now for Atlanta is Brendan Less. Struggles a bit to control that puck, and something that we talked about yesterday was ice conditions. Sounds like it wasn't great yesterday. Another warm day here in Atlanta. Doesn't seem any much better this afternoon. So both teams have had a little bit of trouble controlling the puck. Gladiators have it in the offensive zone. Pass to the slot, jumbles off a stick, and escapes the zone at the left point. Ryan Nolan left the game a little under 3 minutes into the first period. We've not seen him since. And so the Gladiators have had to do a little bit of shuffling with their lines due to his absence.
Yep, now you got Lind out here on this fourth line with Burns and Cipollone.
Grizzlies trying to sneak out of their own end, but the Gladiators making it difficult. Conroy in the left wing. Puck leaks over to the slot. Quick couple of tries for Burns, but McKay's got it covered. He makes the stop. No score with 13:10 left in the first period. There's a timeout on the ice. We're going to take one as well. We're back in 30 seconds on Flow Sports and YouTube.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Welcome back to Atlanta, where the Gladiators and Grizzlies are scoreless. 6:50 into the first. Grizzlies finally have a shot on goal as TJ Semptimphelter has officially made his first ECHL save, but the Gladiators have been dominant so far offensively. 5 shots to 1. Have done everything but put the puck in the back of the net to this point. Facing off to the right of Wells. Grizzlies win it. Yes, victorious in the face-off circle as the Grizzlies chuck the puck through center. It'll go for an icing. And so back down we go near McKay. I think I might have accidentally said Wells there. You get into a rhythm. That is Dryden McKay here today. Face-off will be to his right. Grizzlies win another faceoff in their own end. Ricketts tries to take it in on the left side, does, feeds a puck to the middle, glances off a couple of skates, and makes its way to Felton. Over in the near corner, Ness working against Nychuk, loses that battle as Chad Nychuk is able to weasel his way into the attacking zone. Puck rolls around through the zone and out to center. 12:30 left in the first period, scoreless affair here in Duluth. Sylvester takes it in at the red line, throws it diagonally to the opposite corner, intended for McNamee. Puck loose behind the net. Getting there is Scardina. Up top, it's Jarvis. D to D and back to the middle. Sylvester, quick pass to the right wing. And the shot there from Nychuk is gobbled up by McKay.
Great tandem work there by the Gladiators' first line. Sylvester hanging out up top, allows the D-man to pinch down a little bit. Sylvester goes right back to him. They're able to get a good shot on goal.
I believe that was Brendan Less that took that shot. These Gladiators jerseys, well, they are pretty cool. We did auction them off last night. They're not really doing me any favors. They're kind of tough to see. The tan on white and the design on the arms makes it tough to see the shoulder numbers. In the neutral zone, it's Ty Voigt, 2 goals in his last 2. Snapshot from the left wing by Shea. Goes wide of Semptimphelter. A long-range try from Enns goes into the Gladiators netmander's glove, and he will freeze with 11:56 to go in period 1. Face-off to the left of Semptimphelter. Boudon will take it against Manning. Glads win the defensive zone draw. Lynn takes it in at the red line, quickly feeds it across to Conroy on the left side. Conroy shoots wide of McKay, and the puck is lifted out to center. Back it goes to Conroy, spins away from pressure from Voigt. Conroy surges up ahead. They'll catapult the puck around to the far wall. Grizzlies whacking out the center. Third retrieve is Robilotti. Atlanta dumps it down, gets a partial change in. On the right wing, it is Walter. He gets spilled down to the ice. Lind helps out to get possession back for Atlanta, but an errant pass goes off a stick and out to the neutral zone. Walter carries it in. Gladiators are offside. Had a bit of trouble corralling that puck was Walter. We stop with 11:07 left in the first period. Still no score.
Yeah, one thing you love to have as a hockey team is defensemen who can skate with the puck. And I think, if not all of the Gladiators defensemen, at least one guy on every pair is able to skate with the puck. We've seen it multiple times. Jarvis, Conroy, skating out of their zone, being able to gain the red line and chip it in deep for their forwards to go get it.
Atlanta has it. In their own end, Jarvis to the middle for Young. From center circle, pops it over to the near corner. First one there is Salem for Utah. Can't get it out. Held in by Les. Chucks it off the end wall, gathered by Gansky. He'll surge ahead, locate Lebster, gain some speed, and springs a man into motion. It's Gratton on the left side, boxed out by Les. And the Gladiators defenseman makes a good stand there, and Atlanta will skate it out. Les, center circle, rips it into the attacking zone and heads towards the bench. Young gets a touch on it before he's rubbed out by Felton. And the Grizzlies send the puck down the length of the ice. Icing on Utah with 10:18 left in period 1.
I know we're the Gladiators broadcast, but about Utah, I'd like to see their defensemen skate a little bit more with the puck. Multiple times I've seen it now. Defenseman grabs the puck behind the net, and he just rims it around to the weak side where no wingers there. Gladiators defenseman is able to pick it up there at the blue line and maintain ozone pressure on Utah. I'd like to see their defensemen skate a little bit more with the puck.
Seems like the pace here very different from what we saw yesterday. Looked to be a run and gun style of game to start, but now it's slowed down a bit. Is in the neutral zone. Burns takes a whack at it, along with the other number 7, Garrett Pike. Puck goes into the area between the two benches. And so we pause for a moment. But good news to see for Gladiators fans. Ryan Nolan back out there for Atlanta. So he has returned to the game, left with 17:19 left in the first. He is back 7 minutes of game time later. That is good to see for Nolan and the Gladiators. Atlanta has it. Off the ensuing faceoff in the neutral zone. Firriolo, D to D for Nychuk. They'll hammer it off the far side boards, get it into the Grizzlies zone, but Utah with possession, and back and forth we go. It seems like it's possession here, possession there for both squads, but not a lot of sustained O-zone time for the last couple minutes or so. Utah trying to change that as Nychuk steals it away from the Grizzlies, and now Felton has it behind McKay. Voigt takes it in on the right side, darts towards the middle from center circle, propels it into the attacking zone. That puck goes out of play. And we get another whistle. That sends us to another timeout. 9:19 left in the first period. Still a scoreless game here at Gas South Arena. It is the Gladiators leading the shot count 6-2. Still no goals. We're back after this.
Gladiator, gladiator, gladiator. Live to fight with the gods, I'm the giant slayer.
Back here in Atlanta, the Gladiators and Grizzlies are scoreless. Atlanta leads the shot count 6-2, with 9:19 left in the first period. Well, last night was a lot of fun, a lot of action back and forth, but it seems like today, the Grizzlies in the third game of a three-game set, and the Gladiators in their second game in as many days. Seems like things are a bit slower here today.
Yeah, you know, Grizzlies, 3 games in 3 days. That third day is always the hardest one. Just got to dig deep, find a way here for both teams. Gladiators playing last night. Quick turnaround today. 7 o'clock start last night, 3 o'clock start today. It's a very quick turnaround to go out and play another game. But you just got to dig deep. This one's going to be about whoever wants it more.
You think about coming off of the summer where guys spend all summer trying to keep their bodies in shape. And again, we talked about it before. It's tough to replicate that action of a real game. Think about a third game of a 3-game set for Utah. They got to be gassed at this point. See if the Gladiators can take advantage here today. It is just their second game in as many days.
Yeah, especially with the travel here for Utah. Started in Greenville Friday night. Now they're here in Atlanta for these two.
Neutral zone face-off won by the Gladiators. Scardina tries to reel in a pass. Utah is able to get in front of it. Skating forward is Ricketts. Scored his first pro goal yesterday. Stops at the right point, feeds a man that's open. Winslow to the middle, and Ness trying to redirect that to the back of the net, but it just went wide. Now it's Conroy to the left wing for Sylvester. Return pass connects for Conroy. Tried to swipe at it to get it to the slot. Didn't go. Second opportunity. Cannot be corralled by Scardina. And now the Grizzlies put it to the neutral zone. Gladiators whack it back down and get a line change in. Whistle here with 8:38 to go. Face-off will come over to the right of Semptimfelter. As Ryan Francis is out there with Cody Sylvester and Mike McNamee.
I think the Gladiators got caught in icing here. Got a couple weird line pairings out there.
Jerseys are tough to read off of. It's really hard to see who's who. It looks like the Gladiators have 3 defensemen out there as a byproduct of that. And now they are able to get back to the 3 forwards and 2 defensemen as they get a line change in. Lind with it behind Semptimfelter. Scoots it to the middle for Francis. Has room to skate into it. On the right side, Francis tried to find a trailer in the slot. That was Lind, but pass goes off a skate, and the play is broken up. Voigt quickly jabs it up to Manning. Voigt takes the return pass, right circle, toe drag, feeds it down low. Manning has time, and he flubs on a shot. He whiffed on it, and the Gladiators take advantage and clear. Dangerous chance there. Utah's best of the day. Turnover here at the Gladiator blue line. Manning has it at the right circle. Flings it to the left side. Up top, it's Pike. One-timer goes wide. The rebound dangerously jumped over the stick of Shea. And now he has it on the left wing. Felton at the right point. Sees time stop as the net behind Simpton-Felter came off for the second time this period. 7:22 left in the first. Still a scoreless game. Gladiators lead the shot count 6-2.
They got to fix that right post. This is the second time that right post has came out on us so far here.
And again, talking to the coaches last night and looking down at ice level myself, it doesn't seem like the ice conditions are all that great here today at Gas South Arena. And as a byproduct of that, we're seeing the puck jump a little bit more. And as assistant coach Zach Vanel described it, it was like a bouncy ball last night. Seems to be the same here today. Both teams struggling to really get good control of the puck. So this is one of those games where you really have to be on your A game and just be expected for the puck to take a couple of wacky bounces every now and then. And they're really working on that right post by Simpton-Felter. Looks like they're all good now. Face-off will be to his left. Mick Messner will take the face-off against Alex Young. Face-off won by Utah. Long shot by Pike. Goes over the glove of Simpton-Felter. The rebound controlled by Messner. He's pestered by Firriolo. Now we get a whistle and our first penalty of the afternoon.
Yep, going to be a hold on Firriolo there. Putting pressure on Messner up at the point. Just held on to him a little bit too long.
And so now we will see the Grizzlies power play, which is yet to connect this season. As Utah went 0-4 in Greenville on Friday. They went 0-1 yesterday here tonight, so they are still in search of their first power play goal. Meanwhile, for the Gladiators, penalty kill, 1-for-1 last night, operating at 100%.
Yeah, and I thought the Gladiators' penalty kill looked really good last night. I didn't think the Grizzlies had many grade A opportunities on their lone power play last night. Let's see if the Gladiators can replicate that here.
Good start for Atlanta. They win the face-off and get the clear. Personnel out there for Atlanta: Jarvis, Denemy, Les, and Cipollone. 2 forwards and 2 defensemen for Atlanta. Here's Lebster, boxed out nicely right as he crossed the blue line. And the Grizzlies again have to start their breakout from their own end. It is Pike leaving it for Voigt. And it's a steal for Cipollone. Surges ahead, defended by Pike. Cipollone backhand try, stopped by McKay.
Great shift by those Gladiators penalty killers there. The most important part of a power play is being able to enter the zone with possession. And they didn't allow the Grizzlies to do that. Cipollone with a nice steal there. Gets a pretty good look on McKay there. And they're going to have a face-off in the Grizzlies' end, which is huge.
That was a really good active stick there from Joey Cipollone in the neutral zone. That's what set up a foot race between him and Garrett Pike as they sprinted towards McKay. A backhand try from Cipollone was shut down by the Grizzlies netminder. Face-off will be to his right. Atlanta wins it. Conroy puts it on net. And now a check thrown behind McKay. Messner has the puck. 3-on-3 up ice. Messner sends it to his left, and the Grizzlies are offside on the zone entry.
Grizzlies still not able to enter the zone. Gladiators stepping up at the blue line there, forcing the Grizzlies offsides.
Scoreless game with 6:14 left in the first period. 1:03 remains on Utah's power play. Firriolo in the box for holding. The quartet for the Gladiators right now is Conroy, Burns, Boudon, and Rovelati. Face-off right in front of the Gladiators bench. Utah wins it. They'll fire it around the boards as Salem hurls it to the left side. Bodies converged there. 6 minutes to go in the first. Puck leaks over to the near side, and picking it up is Burns. He's got a lot of room. Slows down. Toe drag shot at the top of the left circle. Hits a skate and goes wide. Salem with it. Has open ice. Final 32 seconds of Utah's power play. Grizzlies enter the zone. Ricketts from the right point, slides it down below the near circle for Messner. Back up top, Ricketts exchanges with Geniev. Danny Geniev from the corner to the point, finds Salem. Long try, goes off a stick in front and wide of Semptimfelter. Manning tries to surge down the left wing, has the puck knifed away. Puck at the left point now, Salem. Down low to Manning. Looks to Messner at the goal line. Puck escapes him. Gladiators get the kill. Out of the box is Firriolo. Messner drives towards the net right after the penalty expired. Tried to find Manning backdoor, but that pass did not connect. And the Glads clear and get a wholesale change.
Great kill by the Gladiators there. Grizzlies didn't have possession in the Gladiator zone until about 30 seconds left in the power play.
Atlanta special teams have been the difference so far here this weekend. Robillati swings out behind Semptimfelter, flips it to the neutral zone for McNamee. He's able to escape ends, darts to the slot, cross-ice feed for a one-timer by Sylvester, and that's stopped by McKay. Now at the left point, Conroy chucks it towards the net, just goes wide. Rebound collected by Robillati, pinching down. Has his pocket picked, and the Grizzlies will get it to the line, but not out. Good hold by McNamee. Gets it to Scardina on the left wing, stops below the circle, and moves towards his forehand. Up top, it's Conroy. To the middle for Lynn. Has it poked away, and it could be a breakaway for Ness, but on the back check, Robillati gets there. On the left side, Sylvester gets to work in the corner. Deals it to his right for Francis. He gets checked off the puck. Ness will gather it and skate to the neutral zone as he will just chip it into the Gladiators zone and go off for a change. 3:40 left in the first. Scoreless game here at Gas South Arena. Jarvis floats the puck behind McKay. Grizzlies netminder came out to play it. Exchanges with Pike. Now Voigt through the neutral zone. Brushes it towards his right. Pass is picked off, intended for Felton. Glad stretch it up to Boudon. On the left side, loses a hand on it. Offensive play made by Garrett Pike. Boudon at the blue line is able to spin it back to Firriolo. Atlanta looks to move up ice. It's Nychuk rumbling down the right wing on his backhand, feeds it towards the middle at the backside of the net and goes astray. Atlanta keeps possession, is in the neutral zone. Puck bumbles over to Firriolo. 2:48 left in the first period. Utah led 1-0 last night after one period of play. Of Ty Voigt's second of the year. Here is Voigt in the neutral zone. Gains the red line, waffles it to the near corner. Puck slips behind Semptimfelter. Let's chip it to Young, and will look to escape their own end. Alex Young gets to the red line, feathers it to Walter. Swedish forward, feeds it to the right wing, and on the move is Conroy. Glides down the right wing, pushes towards the net, which comes off behind McKay as the puck rolls in on the Grizzlies netminder, and he freezes with 2:11 left in the first. Glads lead the shot count 8-3 here in period one, but it is still a scoreless affair here at Gas South Arena. It's a timeout on the ice. We'll take one as well. We're back in a moment after a word from our
so you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Grizzlies and the Gladiators scoreless with 2:11 left in the first period. Glads lead the shot count 9-3. Andrew, your thoughts so far?
I thought the Gladiators have, I think the Gladiators have had a great first period here tonight. I want to go right back to that last chance that they had there. Again, defenseman being able to skate the puck with possession into the zone. Conroy going wide, gets a centering pass, obviously goal wouldn't have counted because the net came off, but still a great scoring chance created by the Gladiators defenseman skating with the puck.
Neutral zone face-off here. Cipollone will take the face-off and win it to Rovolati. Cross-ice feed on time for Conroy. And he has brushed off the puck, takes a jab to the face from Gansky. Conroy tries to return the favor as he did lose his stick on that play. Gladiators for the moment are able to hem it in the offensive zone thanks to Mickey Burns' hard work on a board battle on the near side. Burns tries to win that battle. Wanted to plug it on goal, but it got blocked. And so now Utah turns up ice. Getting through is Messner. Gladiators get a takeaway. Conroy behind his own net. 1:30 to go in the first. Pass to the right wing. Makes its way to the left corner. McNamee quickly fires off the side of the cage. McKay might have gotten a piece of it. From the right circle, Glad shoot. Stopped by McKay again. That was Sylvester. Rebound to McNamee. Pass to the slot. Shot was whiffed on there by Scardina. Sylvester in the near corner, working with Scardina. They will try and dig it free as the Grizzlies pin it up there. Pass from low to high. Does not connect for Nychuk. And the Gladiators have to go back into their own end with under 1 minute to go. Nychuk gains the red line. Gets cut off the puck at the blue line by Ricketts. Centering feed. Goes below the goal line. Kalen Lind was there. Lind behind the net. Tries to wrap it in front. Leaks up top to Jarvis. He fires. Kick save made by McKay. Now Voigt to the right wing has Ricketts. It's pinned up against the wall. Gets some help from Felton pinching down. Backhands it back up top to Ricketts. Time winding down. Down low. Grizzlies to the slot. Broken up by the Gladiators. Jarvis sends it the length of the ice. And that concludes the first period. So a sneaky good chance for Utah closes out the period. But Atlanta and Utah scoreless through one. Shot count is 10-3 in favor of Atlanta. Grizzlies go 0 for 1 on the power play. Gladiators 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. We'll talk all about it on the first intermission report when we come back after the break. This is the Gladiators Broadcast Network. You're watching Atlanta Gladiators hockey on Flow Sports and YouTube.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Through 20 minutes here in Duluth, Georgia at Gas South Arena, home of the Atlanta Gladiators. The Grizzlies and the Gladiators are scoreless after one period of play. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming, welcoming you into the first intermission report. Not really much to say in terms of the box score, no goals, but look at the shot count, 11-3 in favor of the Gladiators. While this game seemed to lack a lot of speed like we saw yesterday in terms of the pace, Gladiators still getting pucks on net. Matt Ginn's got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I like the way that the Gladiators came out in this first period. Back-to-back games with a quicker start here, 3 p.m. today, 7 p.m. last night. Quick turnaround for them. I thought the Gladiators looked great in the offensive zone and even better in their own zone, only allowing Utah to have 3 shots on goal, and none of them were really high-danger chances. They're keeping it easy for Felter in his first ECHL start here so far.
Yeah, Felter, not a very heavy workload there in the first period, just 3 shots against, 3 saves for TJ Felter, as he did have 1 shutout last season with the University of North Dakota, so good first period for Felter. And sometimes you got to think about goalies is, some of them would like to see shots early and really ease into the game, and others would say, yeah, you just kind of take what the game gives you and get those reps in when you get them. But for Felter, not much to do in the first period. Just 1 more save, then nets kicked off behind him in the first period, as the net behind him did come off twice. So for those of you on Flow Sports, you may or may not be seeing the ice crew working on the net where Felter was, as it was that right post on the far side that came off a couple of times there in the first period. They are currently working on that. So TJ Felter, the stat line in the first period, 3 saves and 2 nets come off in the first period. But TJ Felter looking sharp so far in the first period. Looked like he was very, very calm handling the puck there in the first period. Something you'd really like to see out of a young netminder. Again, the Gladiators do outshoot the Grizzlies 11-3 in the first period. 1 penalty against, and it goes against Atlanta. It was a holding call on Anthony Firriolo. Andrew, you really liked the Gladiators' penalty kill there. They did an excellent job of stopping the Grizzlies as they tried to enter the zone.
Yeah, I mean, the only way you're going to score goals on the power play is if you can establish your setup in the offensive zone. And the best way to prevent that is to not allow the attacking team into the zone. The Gladiators, I thought they were great in the neutral zone, forcing breakups and not allowing Utah to gain the zone, especially even having a couple of scoring chances on the penalty kill. Joey Cipollone with a good stick, breaking the play up and getting a good look at McKay, which again forces an offensive zone face-off on the penalty kill, which is huge. You keep the puck as far away from your net as you can. And I thought the Gladiators had a great kill there in the first period.
Gladiators went 1 for 1 on the PK last night. They are so far 1 for 1 on the PK today, so they are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill to start the young season. Good work there for that crew. And job well done by Matt Ginn and Zach Fennell behind the bench for Atlanta. It's the same officiating crew that we had last night. Head referee is Brendan Schreider, wearing number 12. 2 linesmen are Nick Klitschko, wearing number 41, and Kyle Kasperi, wearing number 67. So yesterday, not a lot of penalties against. Seems to be the same trend here today. It seems like if it's serious, they're going to call it. But all in all, not a lot there on the box score. Seems like we're going to have a lot of 5-on-5 action here today as well. Gladiators and the Grizzlies scoreless after 1 period of play. 12:33 left in the intermission report. We'll see what the second period holds. As the Gladiators came from behind last night, they were trailing after the first period, trailing after the second period, got it done in the third period in overtime. Today, a little bit of a different story. Seems to be a bit of a lack of pace here today. But you got to think for the Grizzlies, it is their 3rd game in 3 days. They did play in Greenville on Friday to open their season. For the Gladiators, it is a back-to-back, their 2nd game in less than 48 hours with the 3 o'clock start time locally here in Atlanta. So I think guys are tired. And you think on one side, yeah, you had all summer to prepare and train for this, but you ask any player, you ask any coach, it's really tough to replicate the action and speed of an actual game. And so both the Gladiators and the Grizzlies really trying to get that reps under their belt and get their bodies back in shape as best they can. And this weekend really putting that to the test. I encourage everybody to download the Atlanta Gladiators app. We do have an app, so make sure you check that out on the App Store. That's what I'm using for the box score here today. It's great. It's perfect. I love it. Atlanta Gladiators act. Check it out. I think you can get tickets on there as well. Check out the scores, everything, the schedule. It's fantastic. Does everything you can do on AtlantaGladiators.com right on your phone. So it's perfect. So make sure you head on over and download the Atlanta Gladiators app. Another news in the first period, Rylan Nolan did take a hit up high. I believe it was either a puck that hit him or maybe a stick. Either way, there was no penalty called on the play, but Nolan did lose a considerable amount of blood as he was leaking a bit on the way back to the bench. Only lost about 7 minutes of game time there as he did return with about 10 minutes left in the first period, and he's been back ever since. So Ryan Nolan, hockey player, tough guy. He is back, and the Gladiators did a little bit of line juggling there in his absence. I thought that Ryan Francis did a really good job of moving wherever the Gladiators needed him to. I think he's looked really sharp here today. He's really been using his speed to his advantage.
Yeah, I think if you're any player, the best thing you want to be able to adapt and move around, play with different guys. That's what makes a great hockey player. If you're able to move up and down the lineup, do whatever the team needs to do. Obviously, Nolan goes down. Francis double shifting on that second and fourth line, and even Kalen Lind once hopping down on that fourth line. It's just great to see guys be able to adapt and go back out there, go back out with their own line as well, and still be effective after effectively double shifting back and forth.
Anthony Firriolo had the first goal in yesterday's game for Atlanta. Talk about who we think could be the first goal scorer for the Gladiators here tonight. And we come back for the tail end of the first intermission report. We're back in a few minutes, but first, a word from our local sponsors.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Glads and the Grizzlies squaring off for the second time here today. It'll be a 5-game season series. The team will shift to Maverick Center at West Valley City in Utah in December to cap off the 5-game season series. The first two here in Atlanta. Gladiators won the first one last night 3-2 in overtime. This one here scoreless after one period of play. And then on December 10th, 12th, and 13th, Atlanta heads to Utah to round out the season series. between the two clubs. We'll get a taste of South Division action next week as Atlanta heads to Florida. We'll see the Orlando Solar Bears at Kia Center on Thursday, and then the next night on Friday night, it is a battle between the Gladiators and the reigning South Division champions, the Florida Everblades, who always seem to be the team to beat every single year. That'll be a really good test for Atlanta here in the new season. Kind of get a gauge of where they are at in terms of the South Division's best. Atlanta off to a good start, 1-0 to start the year, looking to improve to 2-0 this afternoon with another win over Utah. But to get there, you got to score some goals. And so let's talk about who we think could be the goal scorer that gets it done first for Atlanta here tonight. I think you got to look at that top line to get the job done for you, Andrew. I've been watching Cody Sylvester here today. He had a really good one-timer there in the first period. Seems like he's heating up as the weekend has gone on. I think he might be my pick to get the Gladiators on the board here today.
Yeah. I was talking about him all last night. I'm going back to that second line, obviously. Boudon had the overtime winner last night. It was on the power play. Little jumbled up between the first and second line there. Wasn't at 5-on-5. I think 5-on-5, we get a goal from that second line. And I'm going to go with Ryan Francis. Ryan Francis is all over the ice, flying around out there. I think we find a way for him to use his speed and get the Gladiators on the board here.
Yeah, Francis looked really good there in the first period. And last night we kind of asked the same question as the Gladiators did not score in the first period yesterday either. But it seems like the Gladiators yesterday has got better and better as the game went on, and it seemed like the defense got more and more comfortable chipping in offensively. That pairing of Firriolo and Nychuk has been absolutely amazing for the Gladiators here today. But I've also got my eye on Ryan Conroy here today. It seems like he's getting more and more comfortable with this Gladiator system. Remember, he was acquired by the Gladiators in a trade over the summer from the Adirondack Thunder for future considerations. Spent all of training camp, well, just about all of training camp with the Gladiators. Spent some time in Milwaukee to begin camp, but got some time in with the Gladiators during camp and really seems to be hitting his stride here today, as looks like he's very comfortable handling the puck, especially in the offensive zone, as he was a pretty good scoring defenseman for Adirondack last year, led all Thunder defensemen in points last season, as Conroy last year had 29 points last year for the Thunder. So I'm really hoping that somebody on this blue line steps up for Atlanta, as Derek Topatic announced his retirement in the offseason. And Topatic was an excellent scoring defenseman for Atlanta in the years that he was here. And Topatic was second on the team in points last year behind only Cody Sylvester. So that kind of speaks for itself. But it really feels like a guy like Ryan Conroy could be that kind of guy, although it seems like right now, and it's small sample size, seems like the Glad's back end might be more of a scoring by committee type of defense.
Yeah, I think all these Gladiators defensemen, they can skate with the puck. You love having defensemen who are patient and can efficiently move the puck. Because, that's where the play all starts. It usually starts with your defenseman in your own zone, and that's what starts your breakout and you're moving down the ice. I've loved what I've seen from the Glad's defensemen, being able to jump up in the play, provide some offense here.
Again, going back to that Firriolo-Nychuk pairing, Chad Nychuk, you can tell he's a guy in an AHL deal. He's playing very, very good this weekend. Nychuk with 2 assists last night. And Nychuk got some time in with the Gladiators last season, was assigned from Milwaukee to Atlanta, played 19 games here, 5 goals, 5 assists. But in Milwaukee, Nychuk just 4 assists in his time there, as he's been reassigned to Atlanta from Milwaukee to start this season, and boy, has he looked good. I think he's done a really good job of winning board battles, keeping offensive plays alive, and really kind of quarterbacking things on zone entries for Atlanta, and when needed, pinching down to keep plays alive along the board. So watch out for number 39 in white for the Gladiators here throughout the rest of the afternoon. I would not be surprised, Andrew, if the first goal again here today for the Atlanta comes from the back end from a defenseman.
Certainly not. Certainly would not be surprised by that. Obviously, Firriolo had 2 last night, both assisted by Nychuk. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a goal from a blue liner here in this second period.
This game has had a bit of an odd flow to it. Again, you think about it being the third game in 3 days for Utah, second in 2 days for Atlanta. And the back-to-back in less than 48 hours with the Sunday afternoon game. But, it was a little bit of a stop-and-go action there as the period went on. It seemed like both teams were content to kind of just dump and chase. We'll see if that game continues, that trend continues here in the second period, or if things break open a little bit, it becomes more run-and-gun style of action here in the second period. But nonetheless, it should be fun. Utah's back out on the ice as Dryden McKay, the netminder for Utah, leads the pack. In the first period, he stopped all 11 shots that he saw as Ethan Hyder and the Atlanta Gladiators are back out on the ice. Or excuse me, not Ethan Hyder, TJ Semptimphelter. This is how you know it's the first game of the first weekend of the series, as it is TJ Semptimphelter and the Gladiators here in the second period, as Semptimphelter stopped all 3 shots that he saw there in the first period. Grizzlies wearing black jerseys with white numbers and professional green trim. Gladiators wearing a white jersey with tan numbers and tan trim. I think it's more of a gold, but potato. TJ Semptimphelter getting ready for the second period. Atlanta will send out the same starting lineup that began the game. Fans getting rowdy here to start the second period of play. See who scores the first goal of the day. And we'll see if that comes here in the second period. Well, the shot count does lead in favor of the Gladiators, 11-3. Not a whole lot going on there in the later stages of the first. Genev will take the opening face-off against McNamee. Gladiators win it. We're back to live action here to start period 2. No score after 1. Tumbles back down near Semptimphelter. Gets a stick on it and keeps play moving as Nychuk will handle. Nychuk feeds it to the left side. Firriolo planks enough the stick of Scardina. That goes out of play into the Gladiators bench. That is our first whistle of the period coming 22 seconds in. Face-off will be in front of the Gladiators bench. McNamee will take the face-off, and thought he was really good last night in the face-off circle. His opposition right now at the dot is Mick Messner, and this time Messner gets the better of him. Grizzlies with possession. They quickly turn it over. Les had the puck, overskated it a bit, and now McNamee helps out and springs it down to McKay. He'll handle it off the end wall, locates Felton. Puck boomerangs back to him, and he will try and slip out the back door on the near side. Now shimmies over to the far. Good forecheck there from Ethan Scardina. He goes off to the bench, and the Grizzlies will move up ice. Pike over the red line, rips it into the attacking zone, and he didn't gain the red line, so that's going to be an icing against Utah. And so we'll see another face-off near Dryden McKay.
That's a bad icing to take there if you're Pike. No pressure on him and just throws it in there. He's got to gain the red line there, and now they're going to be pinned in their own zone on this face-off with a couple of tired Grizzlies out there.
All they had to do is skid another couple of feet and then rip that puck in, and the Grizzlies would have been able to get to work offensively, but instead face-off to the right of McKay. Atlanta wins it. Francis tried to sneak to the slot. Driving forward was Boudon. His stick breaks as McKay makes the save. He's able to freeze exactly 1 minute into the second period.
That great chance from Boudon there, all created by that icing by Pike. It's just a bad icing to take there if you're Pike. You got to gain the red line. You got to be smart there. Gain the red line, get off. Luckily, doesn't end up in the back of the net for the Grizzlies. They can get a fresh change here with all 5 new guys.
We'll see another face-off to the right of McKay. Boudon will take it against Friesen. This is the line that you loved yesterday, Andrew. Boudon, Francis, and Lind. Tie up off the draw. Gladiators have it. Firriolo from the left point tries to bang it on goal. Ends up hitting a body. And so the Gladiators in the neutral zone will chip it in. Nychuk from high to low. McKay out to play it. Faces some quick pressure. Good check by Lind on Gansky. As a pileup occurs on the far half wall. Francis right in the thick of it. Tries to spear it back to the point. We're waiting as Firriolo, but the Grizzlies take charge. Rumbling ahead is Salem. Bounces to the outside, puts it on goal where Semptimphelter sticks it away. His 4th save of the day. Firriolo prods it back, where Nychuk slides it up ahead for Lynn. Over the attacking end, finds Francis down low. Backhand feed to the middle, a tad behind Nychuk, who is pinching down. And now Young tries to get it towards the goal. Bouncing puck in front of McKay. Denemy was there looking for the score, but nothing forthcoming. Carson Denemy 1 point away from 100 career professional points. 33 goals and 66 assists for Denemy. Shea over the red line, gains the Gladiators zone, moving with Voigt. Those two pump the puck around to the right point. Felton, long-range blast, goes off a stick and over the head of Semptimphelter. Puck plops down onto the stick of Shea. Quickly jolts it over to Voigt. Centering feed, bounces in the slot. And picking it up is Walter. Developing 2-on-1, turns into a 2-on-2. Quick shot by Walter. The rebound available for Young, but he was tied up by Pike. Puck loose on the far side boards. It leaks out to the neutral zone and into open space for Shea. Skates into it, feeds it to the middle. One quick tap there from Felton, sends it sky high over the head of Semptimphelter. Rebound goes to the Gladiators. They'll hoist it to the neutral zone, flagged down by Ricketts. Had a goal yesterday, gathers it and stops at the far half wall. Immediately pressured by Conroy, elects to throw the puck over to the left side. Comes to the high slot for a blast there by Salem. Semptimphelter's ready. He makes the stop.
Some good ozone time there for Utah. That Gladiators third line got caught out there a little long. Second period, long change here. You got to be able to get off the ice when you can. You don't want to get caught in your zone like that because it could end up in the back of your net with a bunch of tired guys out there.
3:19 left, or 3:19 gone by here in the second period, as 16:41 on the game clock here in the second period. No score. In this one, Jarvis banks it off the near side glass, looking for Nolan. Instead, Ricketts pushes the narrative further and burrows his way deep into the zone. Jarvis able to swindle the puck away from him. Gladiators try and move up on a breakout, but pass intended for Cipollone, too far in front. Grizzlies take advantage, but they're well offside. Griffin Ness and company will see time wind to a halt with 16:16 left in period 2.
Yeah, tough zone entry there for Ness. He tries to pick it up behind him and spin into the zone, but he entered the zone before he had possession of the puck, and that's why we got an offside stoppage here.
Doing some quick peeks at the chat here on YouTube. Seems like fans in the building echoing the same sentiment. The ice conditions not all that great here today at Gas South Arena. And Zach Vanel, Glad's assistant coach, kind of chalked it up as the puck kind of looked like a bouncy ball last night. And it seems to be the same here today. Scardina to the left wing, has an open man. Jarvis, quick shot into the glove of McKay, and he freezes. Seems a bit more stop-and-go action here at the top of the second period. Shot count reads 14-5 in favor of the Gladiators. So they're getting pucks on goal, but kind of question the quality of these shots that the Gladiators are taking. But nonetheless, any shot is a good shot at this point. Face off to the right of McKay. Out there is the McNamee, Sylvester, Scardina line. It looked like for the first couple of days in training camp, Alex Young was on that line instead of Scardina, but very early on, coaching staff makes the change. Scardina has been there for about the last 2 weeks, was there yesterday and seemed to settle in. Sylvester puts it towards the goal. Another glove save for McKay. Stops time 4:11 into period 2. Messner will take the face-off against McNamee. Grizzlies captain wins the face-off. At the right point, Gladiators able to keep it in, but only for a moment. Good effort by Nychuk. But the puck does come out to center. It's available on the right wing. Glad skate into it. Sylvester working with Nychuk as they sauce the puck down low. Centering feed, Scardina wraps around the net. Loose in front, and oh, what a stop by McKay. The Gladiators just swarming the puck there.
Another great chance for this first line and this first D pair. Firriolo almost had his third goal in 2 games there. Again, active defense. Defenseman pinching down, getting to open ice and getting chances on goal. I love what I see from Firriolo there, getting a grade A scoring opportunity.
Firriolo heads to the bench, but it seems like he's living rent-free in the slot this weekend. 2 goals yesterday, one of them coming in that very same spot. Almost had another one here on that latest sequence. Grizzlies win a defensive zone draw and quickly skate up ice. Jalot forced to the outside, shot from the boards is easily steered away by Semptimfelter. Puck battle along the boards to the right of Semptimfelter. Puck creeps over to the right corner where Felton prods it down below the goal line. Takes in a return feed, and from the right point, rips it down below the goal line. As Ness is there, he's forced off the puck by Boudon, and Atlanta has it. Errant pass. Semptimfelter comes out of the crease to help out. Would have been a turnover, but he fires it into the Grizzlies bench. Clock stops with 14:41 left in the second.
Alert play by Semptimfelter to come out of his net and play that puck, because if he didn't, there were 2 Grizzlies right there that would have had a 2-on-0 on him. Smart play by Semptimfelter to get out of his net, play that puck.
Faceoff will be to his left. He's seen a little bit more action here in the second period than the first. Already has as many saves here in the second as he did in the first period. 5:19 gone by here in period 2. Still no score. Voigt tries to put it on goal. It's blocked by his own man in front. Puck goes around Semptimfelter up to the right point, and Gansky can't keep it in. Late offside on Utah, and they will just fire it down, and Atlanta will get a chance up ice. Walter hacks it into the attacking zone, and a little bit out of it. Puck goes out of play. 14:18 left in period 2. In a game like this, it kind of feels like it might come down to the coaching staffs. Might be one of those games where if you can get a mismatch in what you're looking at in terms of lines, that might be the advantage that you need to get that goal that you're looking for. And by all accounts, it seems like this one might end up being a very low-scoring affair.
Yeah, that's why these icings are so important in this game. Obviously, if you ice the puck, your line can't change. Forwards get caught tired out there, and you can attack them.
Les has it. Planks off the stick at the Grizzly blue line. Looked like Denemy was wrapped up. He does have the puck now. Puts it towards the goal. In the slot there was Young. Couldn't quite reel it in for a good scoring chance. Puck goes to the far wall. Young across. Locates Nychuk. Spinorama from Nychuk on his forehand. Throws it back up top to Burns. Has a man open on the left side. They float it to the left point. Long range shot. Score! Deflection in front. Atlanta's got the first goal of the day.
Great point shot there by Anthony Firriolo again. 3rd point in 2 games now. Isaac Walter, big body in front, able to get a stick on that, tip it home. Gladiators up 1-0 here early in the second.
Isaac Walter redirects an Anthony Firriolo shot for his first professional goal. And the Gladiators have their first lead this weekend. The Gladiators did score in overtime to win the game, but they didn't have the lead at any point yesterday. Now, for the first time in regulation, Atlanta is playing with the lead. Isaac Walter, a big body in the right place at the right time. Walter standing at 6'4", 205 pounds. Able to get a good piece of that puck on the shot from Firriolo, and the Gladiators have the lead. Atlanta not backing down. To go right back to work. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Cipollone has it. Nolan at the line. Feeds it to the left wing. Gladiators cross ice. Robolotti has it at the top of the right circle. Firriolo and Nychuk assist Isaac Walter on his first professional goal. Firriolo, 2 goals and 1 assist in the last 2 games to this point. And Chad Nychuk, 3 assists. Here's Sylvester on the right wing all alone. Delays, finds a trailer. Quick shot. Conroy goes wide. Sylvester got a piece of it. Wells has lost his stick. Or make that McKay. At the left point, Scardina has it, puts it on goal. Save McKay. Rebound goes to the right side. McNamee down low. Shot by Scardina into traffic. McKay's got it, and he freezes with 12:10 to go in the second period. Timeout on the ice. The Gladiators have the lead. Isaac Walter's first professional goal has given the Atlanta Gladiators the first score of the afternoon. We're back after this. The Gladiators have the lead, and it's all thanks to Isaac Walter's first professional goal. The former draft pick of the Nashville Predators back in 2019 redirects a long-range shot from Anthony Firriolo to give the Gladiators the score. As Walter was drafted in the 6th round, 179th overall in 2019 by the Predators. Spent the last 4 seasons at the University of Vermont. Last season had 6 goals and 11 assists with the Catamounts. Signed with the Gladiators in the offseason to a standard player contract. And he connects for his first pro goal just moments ago. Atlanta looking to get their second of the night. Passed through the slot, escapes to the neutral zone. Jalot skates upwards. Down the left wing he goes. He'll go around the net, try and wrap it around. Players collide at the goal line. As looks like Jalot shaken up after that play. Gladiators on the attack. Offside called on Atlanta with 11:43 to go in the second period. As Jalot made his way back to the bench. It looks like both teams will get an opportunity to make a change here.
Yeah, big collision there in the corner that sent Jalot back to the bench. Bodies were flying all over there to the left of Semptonfelter. It looked like 2 Gladiators went head over heels there. Just a big collision in the corner there.
The Walter goal comes 6:22 into the second period. Gladiators toss the puck into the near corner, and right back out there is Walter getting to work. On the forecheck, sees the puck creep out to the neutral zone. Handled by Shea on the left wing. Grizzlies pop it up to the left point, now cross to the right side. Gansky handles, fires it off the end wall. Rebound goes to Jarvis. On the left side, Denemy tips it up to Young, moving in stride with Walter. Those two are stymied on the zone entry. Puck goes out of play into the Gladiators bench. 11:06 left in the second period. Atlanta with the 1-0 lead. It's the first time this weekend that we're seeing Atlanta play with the lead. So I'm curious to see how the Gladiators fare. Shot count looking very good, Andrew. 21-6 in favor of the Gladiators.
Yeah, to get this first one there, you got to hope that they keep putting pucks on net, and that just opens the floodgates here.
Never a bad idea to put a shot on goal. For the Grizzlies, you're probably thinking that their coaching staff is looking for a little bit more of that. Conroy skates over center red, lifts it over Grizzly blue. Puck goes to the end wall where Burns collides with Enns. Cipollone sparring for it as well. Puck creeps over to the left wing where Conroy has it. Tries to backhand it from low to high to Nolan, but getting in front of that was Luke Manning. Almost a takeaway here for Ricketts, working up ice. Gladiators will get puck possession and just dump it down as Burns goes off for a change. Fresh off the bench, Sylvester winds and fires. His shot is blocked, and he loses his stick as well. Defensively, smothers Ricketts up ice, and Utah is offside on the zone entry.
Yeah, just a tough break for Sylvester there. Had a good look, wide open in the high slot. Stick just snaps on him. Just a tough break for him.
For Cody Sylvester, I think that if that stick doesn't fail him, good chance that puck ends up in the back of the net. You give a guy like Cody Sylvester that much time to shoot, it's a good chance he's going to score. As Cody Sylvester, in his 13th year in pro hockey, is the 8th most points amongst active skaters in the ECHL this season. Puck tumbles into the far corner of the Gladiators zone. Scardina tries to split between two Grizzlies. Messner is able to get a steal and a shot wide of Semptimphelter. Felton on the left wing, weaves his way through the neutral zone, drifts towards his right, stops at the point, trying to chip it from high to low, although a bouncing puck is finally simmered down by the Grizzlies. They dig deeper, centering feed, shot by Grattan. Hits a body and goes wide of Semptimphelter. Utah keeps it in the attacking zone. Atlanta pressuring. Puck goes behind the net. Reed Lebster handles, flings it to the slot. Dangerous chance for Utah, but Grattan couldn't handle. Salem keeps it in at the line, puts it towards the goal, gets redirected in on Semptimphelter, and he freezes after making the save. 9:11 left in the second period. Atlanta's got the lead. Isaac Walter scores his first pro goal. We're back after this. Atlanta playing with the lead here as we're into the second half of today's game. 9:11 to go in the second period. Isaac Walter, the product of the University of Vermont, has the score. But you think about the guys that factored in on that goal, Andrew. Anthony Firriolo, Chad Nychuk picking up right where they left off last night.
Yep, both guys now 3 points in these last 2 games. That top pair for Atlanta is clicking right now. I love what I've seen from them. Getting active in the play, able to move the puck around, and it leaves them both getting assists there on that Walter goal.
We'll resume action with a face-off to the right of Semptimphelter. Utah's got it. At the left point, Salem has lots of time, unloads the puck, stopped by Semptimphelter. And the Gladiators quickly try and move upwards on a breakout. Ryan Francis leading the charge, using his speed there again. But he is shut down, and Ricketts blows the tire in the neutral zone. Francis trying to take advantage, shrugs a Grizzly off the puck, wins a battle against Friesen. Now wins a battle against 2 Grizzlies. What a shift here for Francis, as now Brendan Less will control for Atlanta. They'll feed it to the left. Gladiators deliver the puck down below the goal line. Boudon in the far corner touches the puck, and the net has come off. Now that's the same net that TJ Semptimphelter was in the first period. Now Dryden McKay is in it here in the second. And that net came off twice in the first period. It's the first time it's come off in the second. It's a hat trick for the net to our right.
And that specific post, too, that right post just keeps popping out here. Tough ice conditions today here. Let's just hope that net can stay on.
Might have to set an over-under on how many times that post comes off. As see what they're going to do here. They might call in the ice crew. Nobody has put the net back on, so they might get the drill out there and see if they can That thing squared away. As looks like they're going to put the mooring back on and then get the net on there. As Kyle Gaspari, one of our linesmen, does the deed. And it looks like we won't see the drill here on that sequence, although you think if that happens again, you might see the drill for the second time today. Face off to the left of McKay. Grizzlies win it. They'll whack it off the near side glass. Waiting for it at his own blue line was Robilotti. Looking like a tennis match here. Possession going back and forth. Puck lumbers behind Semptimfelter. With it now is Conroy on the left side. Skies it through the neutral zone. Walter simmers it down. Cuts to the net. Walter shoots. Stopped by McKay.
Nice opportunity there for Isaac Walter. Using his speed and size. Take outside ice. Able to protect the puck. Bring it back in and get a good shot on net on McKay there. Big stop by McKay. He's really kept the Grizzlies in this game. I think the Gladiators have had some really good opportunities against them. And Dryden McKay is the reason that this game is still only 1-0 in favor of the Gladiators.
Atlanta took 36 shots last night. Last night was Dylan Wells, the goaltender, in net, and he played so well, accidentally said his name a couple of times today. It is Dryden McKay in between the pipes, and he looks like he's on pace to see an even heavier workload as the Gladiators fire a shot into traffic, tap in, score! Guess who? It's Isaac Walter. He's got his second, and Atlanta leads by 2.
And again, this D pair of Firriolo and Nychuk contributing to a goal. Firriolo shot from the point with traffic in front, hits a body. Denemy's able to grab it, center it. Isaac Walter right there on the back door to just tap it in into a wide open net. And Carson Denemy, his 100th pro point. Congrats to him.
Congratulations to Carson Denemy on the play, and Isaac Walter's got his second professional goal. It's a milestone kind of afternoon here at Gas South Arena, and the Gladiators have the biggest lead of the weekend. They lead by 2 with 8:02 left in period 2. Gladiators going right back up ice. Cipollone catches up to the puck and whacks it over to the near corner. Behind the net it goes. Burns jockeying with Felton. Forward battle ensues. Nolan digging at it, trying to get it out. Cipollone working there as well, but Utah will prevail. And now they have it and slide it down the length of the ice. No icing. Conroy to retrieve. So it looks like Carson Denemy does not get an assist on that goal, so he'll have to wait a little bit longer for his 100th pro point. It is Alex Young getting his second point of the season, his second assist as a shot goes into the glove of McKay. And Anthony Firriolo, an assist on Walter's second. So for Anthony Firriolo, 2 goals, 2 assists so far here on the weekends. You got to think he might be in the running for player of the week.
I certainly think so. He's been all over the place today. Able to break the puck out of his own zone with possession, able to get shots towards the net, and it's leading to Gladiators goals here today.
Firriolo had 19 points for the Gladiators last year, 4 goals and 15 assists. Already, and the weekend's not even over, 2 goals and 2 assists. He's factored in on all but 1 goal this weekend, and that lone goal was the overtime winner by Boudon last night that gave Atlanta a 3-2 victory. Pop fly goes into the glove of McKay. He snags it and holds with 6:38 left in the second.
Now, that's the second time this weekend that we thought Carson Denemy had his 100th career point. Last night, we thought he might have tipped one of Firriolo's goals. There, I made the mistake thinking that he centered that pass there to Walter. We still got to wait for Denemy. He's so close to it. I can feel it.
We're on the cusp. I'll have to wait a little bit longer. Les down low. Tap in. Back door. Is it a goal? The officials say no. The light did come on. McNamee tried to bang it in from the goal line. Looks like it hit McKay and plopped down on the goal line. And that's an unfortunate moment here. because the goal review system here in the building is not operational this weekend. So you can't review the play on video replay. The call on the ice is what it's going to be. I don't think that went in, though, seeing the in-arena feed. Looks like it hit the post, hit the goal line, and McKay got a glove on it. McNamee almost had his first goal back from retirement. But Atlanta has been buzzing here in the second period, and they finally have something to show for it. 2 goals from Isaac Walter here in the middle frame as Atlanta up by 2. Scardina has it on the right wing. Is shaken off the puck by Winslow. D to D, connects with Ends. Deep shot pass goes away from the intended target. In the neutral zone, it is Lebster. Puck is peeled away by Scardina. Moving upwards with him is Boudon. Those two get tangled up with a couple of Grizzlies, and now Pike shimmies into the attacking zone. Les rubs him off the puck. Atlanta turns up ice. 4-on-2 here for the Gladiators. Scardina, right side shot, stopped by McKay. The rebound bumbles below the goal line, and now Boudon goes to work in the near corner. Jalot is able to escape the pile and find Lebster in the neutral zone. Keeps the puck moving to the right side for Felton. Centering feed, leaps over the stick of Friesen. Left point shot by Pike, blockered away by Semptimphelter. He directs it to the near corner. Getting there for Atlanta is Francis. He is able to spring Nychuk into motion. He'll chip it into the attacking zone and head off for a line change. On comes the Robillati-Conroy pairing as Utah looks to surge up ice. They'll heave it down the right wing. Catching up to it there is Conroy deep in his own territory. Exchanges with Robillati, the former Bloomington Bison. And the Gladiators' chance up ice is shut down on an errant pass. .4:27 left in the second period. Quick shot on Semptimphelter. He's able to kick it away with his right pad. Below the goal line, it is Denemy. Over to Conroy. He skates over the red line, gains the attacking zone, feeds it to the left side. Centering feed, Conroy's got it back as Denemy floats it up top to the right point for Les. Darts down to the corner, backhands it to the line for Young. Over to Conroy at the left point, puts it towards the goal, gets tipped twice, plops in front of McKay, and he's got it. The Gladiators have been buzzing here in the second period. 25 shots on goal, 2 goals to show for it. Isaac Walters got 2. Anthony Firriolo's got 2 assists. All is well for the Gladiators. They lead it 2-0 with 3:52 left in the second. We're back after a word from our local sponsors.
Oh, blimey. You've led us astray again.
But these maps are so tricky.
I've got your treasure.
Do tell, Daddy.
Play Keno and win money every 3.5 minutes. Kevin, give the signal. You pick 10 numbers. Then Keno picks 20.
The more we be matching,
The more we be winning! And now we feast!
Or not. Win up to $100,000 every 3.5 minutes playing Keno.
A lot of smiles here in the building here, especially in the second period. Atlanta leads the shot count 26-8. And their efforts, well, they've not gone unnoticed here up in press row, in the stands, and especially on the stat sheet. Isaac Walter, 2 goals here in the middle frame. His first and second professional goals have given the Gladiators the biggest lead of the weekend. Atlanta has been rolling on offense here in the second period, and they're showing no signs of slowing down. Been a great showing so far for TJ Semptimphelter, although the offense has been doing so well that there hasn't been a lot of zone time for the Grizzlies here in this game, and so not really a lot for Semptimphelter to do. And so you got to think that he's pretty happy about that. 8 shots on goal, 8 saves, the product of the University of North Dakota.
I will say Utah's had a couple of decent opportunities this period. When Semptimphelter's needed to make a save, he's made the saves, which I love seeing that from Semptimphelter. He's not seen a lot of action, but he's locked in.
Face off to the left of McKay. McKay played in the Grizzlies season opener in Greenville. Got the win there. It was a 3-1 victory for Utah. As a shot from the left point bounces in on McKay. He's able to cover that up. And that was a wacky looking shot there from Andrew Jarvis. Didn't have a lot of hang time. Looked like it dipped directly down right in front of McKay. Bounced like a bouncy ball and went right into his gullet. But you think about the ice conditions, might be a sneaky shot like that that beats him for a third time here this afternoon. Off the ensuing draw, face-off is won by the Grizzlies. They're able to knife it to the neutral zone. Ricketts has it at the blue line. Between the legs pass, on time for Ness. Trying to return it to Ricketts, although Andrew Jarvis is there to cut that off. Les behind the net on his backhand. Locates Jarvis, the alternate captain for Atlanta. And now the Grizzlies go right back in. Ness on the left side puts it on goal. Semptimphelter wheels it away. Wraparound try. Stopped by Semptimphelter, although he's lost his stick. It's behind the net. Utah with the puck. It's Ricketts in the near corner. On his backhand, climbs up the wall. Tries to feed it from high to low. Gladiators are able to intercept, and Sipple almost skated out. Semptimphelter's got his stick back. Glads dump it in and go off for a change. Winslow hammers it off the boards in front of his bench. Into the Gladiator zone and heads off for a change. 2:37 left in the second as the Gladiators have a 2-0 lead. McNamee spars for the puck with Grattan. Ends up making its way behind the cage where Semptimphelter plays it. Dangerous turnover here and a chance for Utah. Reed Lebster denied by Semptimphelter. TJ Semptimphelter has been good playing the puck so far tonight, but a bit of a miscue there. But he is able to scramble back to make the save. Utah still with possession. Felton darts towards the net. On the backhand, shoots it, and it goes off the mask of Semptimphelter. Back to Felton, and he scores.
Yeah, that play in the Gladiators' defensive zone there starts with the misplay of the puck by Semptimphelter. Turns it over. Utah is able to grind it out, get the puck up, move the puck in front of the net, and it ends up in the back of Semptimphelter's net.
And that really was the biggest mistake of the day for the Gladiators. Otherwise, it's been about as good as you can be, but a bit of a miscue in their own end a couple of times, and Semptimphelter and the Gladiators pay for it as Felton gets on the board for Utah. And the Grizzlies have cut the Gladiator lead in half. It is 2-1 with 2:02 left in the second. Christian Felton has got his first goal of the year. Now has 1 goal and 1 assist in his last 3. And the Grizzlies come right back in. On the right side, Geniev feeds it to the middle, pops him to the glove of Semptimphelter, and he hangs on with 1:49 left in the second. So, for the Felton goal, comes 17:58 into the second period, and it's assisted by Tyler Grattan. Face off to the left of Semptimphelter. Make sure you stick with us for the second intermission report coming up at the end of the period. We'll talk about what happened in the first 2 periods here at Gas South Arena and preview the third period of play. All that and a whole lot more coming up on the second intermission report. Grayson on the right wing, tries to go cross-ice, diving play by Conroy. Breaks that up, and Atlanta heads up ice. Boudon, drop pass for Oberlotti. Right side shot goes off a stick and wide. On his forehand, deals it to Walter on the left wing. Walter on hat trick watch here for Atlanta. Couldn't quite take in a pass in the slot, so he throws a check there on Shalott. Walter, a big body, 6'4", 205. Using every bit of that there as the Grizzlies take the puck and blast it in and get a line change in.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
1 minute left in the second period. Atlanta trying to get something back on the board here and regain their 2-goal lead. Grizzlies looking to tie. Neil Shea behind the net on his forehand. Tried to feed it to the middle. Hit the skate of Jarvis. And he will backhand it to the neutral zone where Winslow will have it for Utah. Time winding down. Grizzlies wasting none of it. Left corner shot by Manning. Kicked away by the toe of Semptimphelter. in the corner. Walter able to whack it off the end wall. Puck goes into open space on the right wing where Enns will handle it. Deals it to the line for Manning. 20 seconds to go in the period. Manning slithers his way below the left circle, has a man open behind the net. It's Shea on his forehand, look to go from low to high, has Enns at the right point. Takes a return feed and climbs up to the top of the right circle, feeds it left side for Winslow. Tried to spin and get a shot on goal, but he was covered nicely by Jarvis. Puck on the left side, Enns up top to Shea, but not enough time. The Grizzlies run out of clock here to end the second period. But that was probably their best offensive sequence here tonight. And they do have a goal to show for it over the last couple of shifts, as it was Felton getting on the board for the Grizzlies. It is a 2-1 game through 2. We'll talk all about it here in the second intermission report. Isaac Walters got 2. Felton's got 1 for Utah. It is a 2-1 game through 2 periods of play. We're back after this.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Through 2 periods of play, the Gladiators have the lead. 2-1 is your score as Atlanta leads Utah. Isaac Walter has 2 goals here today, as it was his first goal professionally that gave the Gladiators the lead. No scoring in the first period. 1 penalty was called. It was a holding minor against Anthony Firriolo. Gladiators penalty kill looked very, very good. They get the kill, they get the stop, and out of 20 minutes of play, nothing coming in the goal department. The Gladiators very productive, though, in the shot count. They led it 11-3 through 20 minutes of play. Go to the second. The Gladiators outshoot the Grizzlies 18-10. So 10 is actually a pretty good figure for the Grizzlies, and a lot of that happened in the final minutes of the period. But for Atlanta, another really good 20 minutes putting pucks on net, outshooting the Grizzlies 29-13 to this point. And in the second period, becomes the Isaac Walters show as 6:22 into the second period. He scores his first professional goal to make it 1-0 Atlanta. And the usual suspects get the assists. Anthony Firriolo, Chad Nychuk. Yeah, it just seems like those two seem to factor in on every single goal, including Isaac Walters' second goal. 11:58 into the second period. Isaac Walters got his second professional goal and his second of the afternoon. That gave the Gladiators a 2-0 lead. Assisting him on that, Alex Young, who gets the primary. It is his first point of the day and his second in as many games. Anthony Firriolo, 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 2 games. Got to be in the running for one of the players of the week. Firriolo factoring on all but one Gladiators goals this weekend. The only one that he didn't was the overtime victory goal from Louis Boudon in overtime last night. So the Gladiators have the 2-0 lead. They think they're going to go into the locker room with that 2-0 lead, but it gets cut in half with 2:02 left in the second period. Christian Felton caps off a really good shift for Utah. Able to drive in close to the net, get a good chance in on Felter. Rebound, boomerangs back to him, and he doesn't make any mistake putting it into the back of the net on the second opportunity. And the Grizzlies break the shutout bid for Felter as the Gladiators netminder has stopped 12 of 13 to this point. And Dryden McKay has stopped 27 of 29. So last night, Andrew, the Gladiators had 36 shots on goal. They're 7 away from tying that figure. You got to think that they're on pace for potentially 40 shots in this game. And on top of that, they've done a really good job of limiting Utah's chances on net so far here tonight.
Yeah, I think Dryden McKay has been awesome for Utah so far. We're seeing why that guy was the Hobie Baker winner in 2022. 29 shots on goal for the Gladiators. He's got 27 saves, and there's a chance that this game could be 5-6-1 in favor of the Gladiators if McKay isn't standing on his head the way it is. If the Grizzlies are going to have a chance in the third period to come back in this game, it's going to be on the back of Dryden McKay standing tall.
Yeah, yesterday it was Dylan Wells stopping 33 of 36 for Utah. Today so far, it's Dryden McKay stopping 27 of 29. And Utah seems to have a really good goaltending tandem this year, both on AHL contracts. It's good. It's to see why. They've been playing really well this weekend. And you're right, it could easily be 5-1 Gladiators to this point, but the goaltending has been the difference so far. And again, to this point, only 1 penalty called. It was against Atlanta in the first period, but all in all, pretty clean in that department. Not a lot of penalties called this weekend. And so it seems like this game is going to be won or lost 5-on-5, and the Gladiators have done a good job of scoring 5-on-5, especially here today. But let's go back to the 2 plays from Isaac Walter, both goals that he scored there. Tell me what you saw there on the first goal from Walter that broke the scoreless tie.
Yeah, I mean, again, this goal starts with Chad Nychuk and Anthony Firriolo, that first D pair for the Gladiators. Puck gets up to Firriolo at the point. Isaac Walter, big body, big presence in front of the net. Get in front of the net. Firriolo with the shot from the point. Isaac Walter able to get a stick on it, tip it home. 1-0 Gladiators there.
And you go to the second goal from Walter. It seems like big net front presence kind of guy. And you think that he's 6'4", 205 pounds. That seems to be his role. But I'm interested to see how Isaac Walter plays, as seems like he's a really good puck carrier for Atlanta. He's not the fastest guy on the team, but he does use his size to advantage. It seems like when he has the puck, it's very hard to shake him loose. And so Walter done a good job as a puck carrier here today, but on his second goal, bit of a tap-in play for him as he's in the right place at the right time, right in front of the net.
Yeah, you got to feel bad for Dryden McKay on that second goal. He was standing on his head that whole period, and his team kind of let him down on that second goal. Puck gets down low to Alex Young below the dots. Isaac Walter just sitting back door, wide open. Puck's able to get at him, and that might be one of the easier goals he's ever scored. Wide open net to look at there.
And so for Isaac Walter, it's been a good day for him. Anthony Firriolo quietly having 2 assists here today, as Firriolo has been playing with a lot of confidence this weekend. And you think about that line of Walter, Young, and Denemy. Now, we thought that Denemy might have factored in on that second goal for Walter to give him his 100th career pro point. Ends up not being the case, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer, but I really like what that line has been doing, and I think Alex Young has been sneaky good for the Gladiators this weekend. And sometimes it's those kind of guys where you don't necessarily notice them outright on every single play, but they always seem to kind of factor in on some kind of good shift, or even sometimes like that goal from Walter ends up resulting in a scoring play.
Yeah, I love what I've seen from that Gladiators third line today. They're able to possess the puck in the offensive zone. They're working below the dots. They're working below the goal line. Obviously, that led to the second goal there for Walter, working to play below the goal line. They're hard to knock off the puck. You got 2 big bodies there, Denemy and Walter, 2 guys who don't give up the puck. They're great in possession of the puck. And I love what I've seen from that third line here today.
And Alex Young is just a very smart player, and you have him as a center on that line with Denemy and Walter. And think about the experience on that line. Denemy playing in his, I believe it's his 5th year as a pro here. Spent some time in Tulsa and kind of bounced around a couple of different locations. Did his 2nd season here in Atlanta, and seems like he's found a really good home on that line with Young and Walter. So you got a rookie on the right side, got Denemy, the veteran, on the left side, and then Young, a guy that's been around the league for a couple of years, was acquired in a trade with Adirondack in a deal that sent Ryan Francis and Alex Young to Atlanta for Blake Murray. Those two come to town, put together a pretty good show towards the end of the season in the final 3 weeks. Seems like that's carried over here to start this season, as Alex Young, again, not always flashy with his game, but again, just very, very smart player. And so you saw that there on that second goal from Walter. But business is good for the Gladiators. They do have the lead, but felt like things kind of slipped away from them late there in the second period. I thought that Utah was really on their A game to end the second period. That's the best they've looked by far offensively in today's game.
Yeah, tough end to the second period for the Gladiators there. Utah stringing together a couple of good shifts. They were humming there at the end, and they were finally able to break through and kill the shutout bid for Sempenfelter there at the second period, at the end of the second.
And so we'll see if the Gladiators can get back on their horse. Yesterday, the Gladiators did a really good job of really coming out and flying to start periods. In the second period, they scored in the opening 3 minutes. In the third period last night, they scored in the opening 3 minutes. And so we'll see how Matt Ginn's group comes out here to start the third period. But it really feels like if they can come out with a lot of juice, a lot of energy, and get right back to where they started, can retake that 2-goal lead early on here in the third period. Been a lot of fun here on a Sunday afternoon. We'll talk about what's to come here in the third period. And also preview next week's matchups in the state of Florida. We come back for the tail end of the second intermission report here from Gas South Arena. Glads lead at 2-1. We're back after this.
So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Let's do a chat check here on YouTube. So, Flow Sports is your home all season long to watch live action wherever you want. On your phone, your tablet, your TV, anywhere you got internet service, you can watch Gladiators hockey on demand or live on Flow Sports all year long. That is your home for Gladiators hockey. Make sure you head on over to flowsports.com to start your subscription today. But we also got our YouTube audio stream, and my favorite part about YouTube is the live chat. I love the live chat, and let's do a chat check right now. It looks like we've got a couple people who are in the building chiming in on the live chat. So hello to Joe Mama. Big fan of Joe Mama from the Player Signing Show. I actually got to meet Joe Mama in person at the auction last night. And so Joe Mama, we came into agreement that Joe's going to cook up some more questions for us throughout the course of the season to kind of stump us. We might have to make that an intermission segment throughout the course of the year. For those of you who don't know, go check out those player signing live streams that we did. Joe Mama was a big, big part of those. Hello to Annika, who's in the house as well. And even Joe Mama's chiming in saying, yeah, that looks like the puck is bouncing out of control a bit more than usual. So it seems like the sentiment around the building is the same. The ice conditions not all that great here this weekend. It should get better as the year goes on as it gets a little bit colder outside. But here inside, it seems like throughout the course of the period, you could see the ice kind of glistening, a lot of ruts. Zach Vanel, when I talked to him before today's game, chalked it up as, yeah, the puck looked like a bouncy ball out there last night. Like one of those toys you get at the mall. It's just every which way you turn, you can't really quite predict where it's going to go, and it's made puck handling difficult throughout the course of the weekend. Big hello to Evan Jinks, who really wants a hockey stick from the Glads. Let's try and see what we can do, but Evan is in the building right now, so big hello to you. We'll see what we can do there. Sadie Marina, good to see you again, my friend. Josh Reel asks, who is winning? It is the Gladiators right now with a 2-1 lead through 40 minutes of play. Hello to J9 Lesbrats, listening while she's in the building. And so it looks like everybody's having fun here on a Sunday afternoon. And so the Gladiators opened up the season here at Gas South Arena. This wraps up the 2-game set here on the weekend. But next week, we're going to be in the state of Florida. So first, it's a trip to Orlando to take on the Solar Bears on Thursday, 7 o'clock start time there at the pregame show here, and all the action on Flow Sports and YouTube. And then the next day, the Gladiators are in Estero, Florida, take on the reigning South Division champions, the Florida Everblades, who have won 3 out of the last 4 Kelly Cups. The only one that they didn't was last year when Trois Rivières, who knocked them out in the Eastern Conference Final, won it. And so Florida is really the cream of the crop when it comes to the ECHL. They are the team to beat. So I've got that matchup circled on the calendar, Andrew. I think that is going to be a really, really good test for the Gladiators early on. Kind of see where they stand here to start the season. Good benchmark game for them.
Yeah, guy, it's going to be interesting. First 2 road games of the season for the Gladiators, going on the road down to Florida. It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, we see here Utah, 3rd game in 3 days on the road here. They're looking a little sluggish. We'll want to see next weekend how the Gladiators look going on the road. A lot of travel there. It'll be interesting to see how they look there on the road down in Florida.
And you've played hockey yourself. Would you rather start the season at home or on the road? Would you rather just get that road game out of the way to start and just get that stadium pulse going and get that blood flowing and just take care of business on the road? Or would you rather start at home like the Gladiators have and kind of ease into your schedule?
I think it's great to start at home. Get the home fans involved. We saw it last night. This place was packed last night for the home opener. Get that going. Get all the fans involved. I just love starting at home. If you got a back-to-back like that, you can go back, sleep in your own bed. Nothing like the comforts of home to start the season here.
Gladiators 1-0 to start the season with their 3-2 overtime victory yesterday. They have the lead right now entering the 3rd period. 2-1 is your score. Isaac Walter with 2. And Utah's lone goal comes from Christian Felton. And that has made it a 1-goal lead for Atlanta. Utah looked their best towards the end of the 2nd period. Gladiators will try and get their momentum back here to start the 3rd. Andrew, what are you looking for out of the Gladiators here about the first 3 to 5 minutes or so to really get back on their horse and dictate the terms here?
Yeah, I'm looking to them to get back to playing with pace and getting on top of Utah. We saw at the end of the 2nd period there, Utah controlled the play for about the last 5-6 minutes there, and it led to them cutting the Gladiators' lead in half here. I'd like to see the Gladiators come out fast here, get on top of Utah, and put this game away here in the 3rd.
See what Atlanta can do here in the 3rd period. Yesterday, the Gladiators played very well in the 3rd period. They outshot the Grizzlies by another wide margin. As here today, fans having fun. We got a lot of the flashlights out. There used to be lighters in the building. You used to have a lot of smokers back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then, I don't know, cell phones came out. People became vapors. And then all of a sudden, lighters, you didn't see them as much anymore. So now you got fans doing the waving of the light on their phones. That's what we got going on here to start the 3rd period as the Gladiators and the Grizzlies are both back out there on the ice for 3rd period action. That concludes the 2nd intermission report. Atlanta back out there wearing white jerseys with gold numbers and gold trim specialty jerseys that were auctioned off last night. They're wearing again here today. Grizzlies wearing black jerseys with white numbers with professional green trim, as Grizzlies broadcaster Tyson Whiting would say. Spent 2 years learning under Tyson Whiting. He's one of the greats, one of the best in the league, and really, for my money, one of the best in the business. And one of his hallmarks is that professional green trim of the Grizzlies. And make no mark about it, it is professional green. Not just regular green, it's professional. Utah will skate from left to right here in the 3rd period. Atlanta from right to left, as you see it on Flow Sports. And paint a picture for your mind's eye here on YouTube. Another one of Tyson's sayings. He is calling the game on a remote feedback at Maverick Center. Wish he was here, man. I love Tyson. He's great. For those of you who hadn't had a chance to check him out, he does a fantastic job. And I really don't know how he does it, calling games on the remote. Is, again, one of the best in the business. Hats off to him. So to start the 3rd period, back comes out the same guys that started the game for Atlanta. We're going to start with that Sylvester line with McNamee and Scardina. Utah out there with the Mick Messner line, the captain of the Grizzlies, with Gratton and Lebster. And it's been a quiet weekend for Reed Lebster. He's a lethal forward. He does have the capability to be a scoring threat, but so far this weekend, not a whole lot happening for 23. Grizzlies drive it into the Gladiators zone to start the third. Nychuk shimmies out from behind Semptimphelter, brushes it to the right wing, and back the other way it goes. Over the blue line was Sylvester. Helping him out was Firriolo to bang it down where McKay will play it. Bouncing puck. Skitters to the end wall. Grattan the first one on it. Gets it to Lebster. Feeds it to the middle. High slot shot by Salem. Into traffic. Second opportunity blocked by Nychuk. From skate to stick he goes. Puck forced to the outside and out to center. And Salem will drive it down and head off for a line change. 50 seconds into the third period, Atlanta has the puck. Louis Boudon and his line comes on as Jarvis springs the puck forward. It trickles into the near corner of the Grizzlies zone. Bodies come together there. Puck leaks up to the left point. Jarvis can't keep it in. He's facing some pressure there. Ness on the forecheck as the Gladiators have it back. In the neutral zone, picking it up is Francis. Deeks to the middle, bounces to the right circle, glides to the corner, spins away from Pike. At the right point, long shot by Robilotti, steered away by McKay. Second opportunity, blockered on the opportunity for Jarvis. Feed into the middle, whiffed on by Francis in the slot. And the puck will escape to the neutral zone. Ryan Francis has had some really good looks this weekend, but has been stymied and snake bitten. Nothing to show for it on the shot count, on the stat sheet. But it has been a very good weekend for number 86. Very noticeable. Puck creeps down into the Grizzlies' end. Walter on the forecheck already has 2 today. As a long-range shot from the neutral zone is swiped up by Semptimphelter. 2:02 into the third. Well, Andrew, we talking about the pace towards the end of the intermission show. What are your thoughts on that so far?
I feel like it's been like a bit of that second period, back and forth a little bit here. I mean, we can see from up here, this ice still looks a little wet. So it's going to be interesting to see how this puck moves in this third period here.
It's got a shine to it. You can really see the ruts with the way the lights are reflecting off the ice. Ice has been a big factor here so far this weekend. As at the right point, Atlanta has it. Puck is forced to the near corner. Grizzlies get a touch on it. As skating into it is Winslow. Puck goes through the neutral zone. No icing as Messner catches up to it in the near corner. Robilotti finds a man up ice. Alex Young gets the top of the left circle, delays, has a trailer. It's Burns. Right side shot stopped by McKay. Just enough of it with the blocker. Rebound goes to the far, to his right, as Messner and the Grizzlies look to get control. Everybody bundles together in the near corner of the Grizzlies zone. Shea delivers the puck to the neutral zone. Messner leaps over it and goes to the bench. Firriolo and Nychuk control for Atlanta. Burns flags it down and tips it into the attacking zone. He heads off. Salem grinds to the neutral zone. Fires it wide of Semptimphelter, but the netminder did get a touch on it. Nychuk looks up ice. Pass a bit behind Ryan Nolan. Grizzlies have it at the blue line as Voigt launches it in. Semptimphelter out to play it. At the edge of the trapezoid, flings it to the left side. Semptimphelter sees Cody Sylvester take it in the neutral zone. And the Gladiators will tap it down. So kind of pace that we're seeing right now is what we saw for much of the first period, kind of just back and forth possession-wise. Not really what we saw in the middle parts of the second period. It slowed back down a bit. Less than a board battle on the far side half wall. Grizzlies sneak away. Arm is raised. It's a penalty on Atlanta.
That's a tough call.
It's going to be a trip. And the culprit is Jarvis.
Yeah, that's a tough call against Jarvis there. I didn't think he got his stick in the feet there, but it's a tough call that goes against Atlanta, and they're going to have a good penalty kill here to keep their lead here.
Gladiators' penalty kill is 1 for 1 so far today. They are 2 for 2 on the weekend. Not a lot of penalties called here between the Gladiators and the Grizzlies in both games, yesterday and today, but this one could be a difference maker as Utah has an opportunity to tie. Jarvis in the box, 2 for tripping. Utah wins the ensuing faceoff. At the line, it's Salem. Manning on the left wing, drives it down low. Grizzlies on the backhand. Try and plug it in. Denemy able to lift it to the neutral zone, and the Gladiators get a clear. It'll be interesting to see how the Grizzlies operate here, especially on the zone entry. Atlanta's been really good at shutting them down on the penalty kill. Geniev glides in with speed, sneaks his way to the goal line, flings a pass through the slot, goes in and out the other side. Manning on his forehand from the left side half wall, has time. Finds a man down low. Geniev centers, backdoor pass, connects with Ricketts, and his shot just goes wide. Ricketts behind the net, gets held up a little bit by Conroy. Grizzlies have it. Pass to the slot is intercepted. It's Cipolone skating down the left wing, runs it into the Grizzlies zone, kills off a little bit more time. 56 seconds left on the penalty to Jarvis.
Love what I've seen from this Gladiators penalty kill so far. Gave up a couple little chances down there in their own end, but overall keeping everything to the outside. Nice play by Cipolone there. Get that puck out into the neutral zone.
Through the neutral zone, it's Lebster. Over the attacking edge. Finds man open on the left side, it's Shea. Gains the left circle. Goes to the right point for Voigt. He'll hold and delay. Get it to the high slot for Pike. On the left side, gets it to the slot. Puck is loose. Grizzlies keep possession. Skate to stick, it's Lebster. Able to evade pressure. Gladiators get a touch on it, and winding it out is Boudon. Right back in is Voigt. Grizzlies with 8 seconds left on the power play. Shot by Shea. Steered away by the blocker of Semptenfelter. Gladiators will clear, and that does it for the Grizzlies power play. Gladiators are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill today. It's a successful kill for Atlanta, and they keep their 2-1 lead with 13:30 left in the third. Conroy hoists it to the neutral zone. Makes a couple of skips and goes between the circles where it's gathered by ends. Grizzlies pump the puck into the Gladiators zone. Semptenfelter gets a touch on it, and it leaps out to the neutral zone. Scardina takes it in stride. Scardina from the right side on his forehand has the puck taken away. It was loose in the neutral zone, and Conroy keeps possession for Atlanta. Trying to hit Sylvester on the run on the left side. He's rubbed off the puck by ends. Ness takes it in the neutral zone. First to stretch it up ahead, on time for Jalot. Wanted a shot, didn't get it. And so now the puck comes boomeranging back to the Grizzlies defense, and both teams get a change in. 12:37 left in the third period. Atlanta leads 2-1. Francis tries to split the D. Coming out to play, it was McKay. Boudon keeps it in the zone, but only for a moment. Tenacious attack there from the Grizzlies. Gets it back out to center. Atlanta forced to pop it over to the far corner and look to get to work. Lind has the puck, goes cross ice to Firriolo, but clanked off the skate, tried to put it towards the goal. Gets directed wide off a body. Simmers down in the near corner. There is Francis. Gets it to Firriolo at the line. He uncorks it. It's blocked by his own man in Lind. Comes to Nychuk in the right circle. Can't get a shot away as Lind bumps Grattan down low. Skating upwards is Messner with speed. A backhand try. Blocked nicely by Firriolo. What a back check there from Anthony Firriolo. He's had an outstanding weekend for Atlanta.
Yeah, great play by Firriolo on that one-on-one against Messner. Messner tries to make a move to his backhand. Firriolo sticks with them the whole way, is able to block that shot and keep it wide.
Utah coming right back in, but just a step ahead. They're offside with 11:32 left in the third. Atlanta's up to 31 shots on goal. Utah's got 15. It's the Gladiators 2 and the Grizzlies 1 when we come back to Gas South Arena. On a Sunday afternoon at Gas South Arena. And this game will wrap up the 2-game homestand to start the year. Gladiators head to the state of Florida next week. On Thursday, they take on the Orlando Solar Bears at Kia Center. We'll have all the action for you here on Flow Sports and YouTube. That game starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And then the next day, the Gladiators head to Estero, Florida to Hertz Arena to take on the defending South Division champion, the Florida Everblades. Back to this one here. Atlanta leads by 1. All goals in this game were scored in the second period. 2 from Isaac Walter, 1 from Christian Felton. Face off in front of the Gladiators bench. Both teams have taken 2 shots here in the third period. Gladiators dump it down. Centering feed. Denemy in front. Tap and score! Alex Young puts it into the back of the net. It's his first of the year, and Atlanta's got its 2-goal lead back.
That third line was another goal here today. Walter wheels the net, gets it up top to Denemy. Alex Young slips in back door. Denemy hits him. Atlanta's got their 2-goal lead back here. All 3 goals today scored by this third line.
Incredible stuff here from this third line today. And it looked like Dryden McKay was going to stop that puck initially. Made some really good saves in front, but Alex Young is able to get the final punch on the puck. And the Gladiators lead it 3-1. So back to live action here. Alex Young's first of the year is assisted by Isaac Walter. And we can finally congratulate Carson Denemy on earning his 100th career professional point.
Third time's a charm, guy. We thought he had one last night. We thought he had it earlier today. He finally has his 100th career point. Congratulations to Denemy.
Denemy, 33 goals, 64 assists in his professional career, playing in his 235th game today. Down below the goal line, Gladiators again setting up shop. It's Ryan Nolan. Puck springs to the right point, all alone. Cipolone shoots. Had time and space, but just fired wide right of McKay.
Yeah, Cipolone there with a lot of time and space there walking in on that puck. Looked like he had Burns cutting back door, and he just missed him there, put the puck wide.
Well, we had a little bit of a sleepy start to the third period. A lot of whistles. Pace really slowed down to a bit like we saw in the first period. But the Gladiators have come roaring back to life here in the middle stages of the third period. And they get their 2-goal lead back as a byproduct of it.
Yep, and it starts with that third line. That third line has had a great day today, factoring in all 3 goals.
Bratton with it in his own end of a face-off victory. Pass to the neutral zone did not click. Atlanta's got it back in the attacking end. Cipolone from low to high has Firriolo. Cross ice connects with Nychuk. Bouncing puck. He's able to settle it down. Burns drifts the puck over to the near corner for Cipolone once more. This time he backhands it deeper. First man on it is Enns for Utah. Alex Young scores his first of the year, 8:41 into the third to give Atlanta the 3-1 lead. Over the red line goes Winslow. Tattoos it off the near corner. Quickly on it is Firriolo. Gladiators spring into motion. Slingshot play to Scardina. Looks like he got tripped up a little bit there. No call made. On the left side, gathering it is Geniev. Couple tic-tac-toe passes for the Grizzlies, but they can't deliver the final blow. 3-on-1 potentially for the Gladiators, but on the back check, Griffin Ness is able to put that to an end. And now it goes below the goal line behind Semptimphelter. Handling it there is McNamee. Cross-ice feed, connects with Sylvester. Quickly to Jarvis, streaking in. Gets bundled up in the slot by a sleuth of Grizzlies. 3-on-1 the other way. Left side, Geniev tried to go cross-ice. Gets to the slot for a quick drive by Ness. And Semptimphelter makes the save. That was Utah's best chance of the period for my money. And TJ Semptimphelter, that might have been his best save of the day.
Yeah, great save there by Semptimphelter. I thought Les originally broke up the 2-on-1 by diving down there to get the pass, but somehow got out front, and Semptimphelter still able to stand strong there in the net.
Delayed penalty here. It's going to go against Atlanta. Felton in front, whacks it towards the net. Gladiators touch up. And looks like it's going to be a hooking penalty on Ryan Francis. Grizzlies to the power play when we come back.
Sometimes.
Here in Atlanta, Ryan Francis heads to the box. Utah's about to go to its third power play of the afternoon. Francis called 2 for hooking as Felton was driving towards the net. Impeded a little bit. They called a penalty, and Utah will have its third crack at it on the man advantage. Gladiators' penalty kill has been really good this weekend, Andrew. They're 3 for 3 so far in both games combined. We're going to try and make it 4 for 4, but it feels like that this may be one of those critical sequences in the game to where with 8:26 left in the third, 2-goal game, if Utah scores here, they might have a chance.
Yep. At this point, the Gladiators have been all over Utah these last couple of minutes. They kind of got them out of the game. You can't let them score on this power play here because that's gonna get them right back in this game.
Face-off will be to the right of Semptimphelter. The penalty killers, Denemy, Cipollone, Robilotti, and Conroy. Grattan will take the face-off for Utah. Up against Denemy. Denemy wins it. It's a clear for Atlanta.
Great start to the kill there. Quick clear there. Let's see if they can keep the Grizzlies out of the zone here.
Couldn't have drawn that up any better for Atlanta. Utah starts from the deep end. Lebster through the neutral zone, connects with Shea, and here are the Gladiators swarming them, smothering coverage from Atlanta. They take the puck away and wind it back down to McKay. Under 8 minutes left here in the third period. Atlanta leads by 2. Voigt gets it over the attacking line, intended for Grattan. Pass offline. Again, the Gladiators get there. Back down it goes. Here's Pike again. Voigt loses the puck. It's a steal. Boudon on the breakaway. In tight, stops, rebound, score! Mickey Burns capitalizes. It's a shorthanded goal. Atlanta leads 4-1.
Penalty kill, guys. You can't let the Grizzlies back in this game. And the Gladiators take it the other way, and Mickey Burns puts them up 3 here.
That was the best case scenario for Atlanta there. Louis Boudon forcing the turnover. Gets in tight one-on-one with McKay. McKay makes the initial save, but there is Mickey Burns staying with the play. He gets rewarded with it. It's his first goal of the year.
And even before that goal there, the penalty kill did a great job of keeping the Grizzlies outside of the Gladiator zone, getting clears. Grizzlies coming up with the puck there. Tough turnover. Boudon hops on it. Burns there to clean it up.
Burns, with his second professional goal, has made it a 3-goal Atlanta lead. Short-handed for Burns, assisted by Louis Boudon, who created the turnover. Grizzlies still on the power play for the next 40 seconds. But now the hole even deeper, staring down the barrel of a 3-goal deficit are the Grizzlies. And Atlanta gets another clear. Geniev lifts it over to the left point for Salem. D to D. Ricketts has got it. Top of the right circle. Feeds a man down low. Geniev trying to go up top to Salem. He can't grab it. Forced to rumble back into his own end. Atlanta gets a free clear, and they kill the penalty on Francis. 3 for 3 on the penalty kill today. McNamee now back to even strength. Chips it over to the right side for Robilotti. Holy Cross product dumps it down and goes to the bench. McNamee steals it away from Enns. Moves up ice, feeds it across. Wanted Scardina, couldn't quite snatch it. Gets it on the far boards. It's tangled up with 2 Grizzlies. He actually hits the deck there. And now Sylvester try and get possession back for Atlanta. Everybody comes together. Everybody wants a piece of that puck. It's like Halloween candy. Everybody wants it. Firriolo open on the left side, takes it. Fires a shot off a stick and wide. Rebound comes to Sylvester. Gladiators captain stops at the left point, puts it on goal for a stick save by McKay. Rebound plops down in the near corner. Scardina back to work. Shovels it over to the right side for Nychuk. As McNamee, top of the right circle, goes across to Firriolo. One-timer, hits a leg, goes to the slot, loose puck there. Grizzlies can't control. Sylvester at the line, wanted a man at the right point in Nychuk, but make that McNamee, but pass behind and escapes the zone. Atlanta blasts it right back in. Boudon on the forecheck, has a trailer and Conroy. Puck gets deflected on its way to the goal. Boudon has it behind the cage. On his backhand, able to chip it to Conroy. Shot is blocked. Grizzlies move up ice. Potential 2-on-1, but hustling back are Conroy, Robilotti, and Boudon, and that play comes to an end. Under 5 minutes left here in the third. Glads lead at 4-1 with 4:40 to go. Here in the third period, Atlanta has outshot Utah 7-3. Below the goal line, Lynn gets tied up by Felton. The lone Utah goal scorer. Messner able to chuck it to Lebster. Grizzlies lose the puck at their own blue line and then quickly get it back as Messner moves up ice, drops it off to Grattan. Has a trailer, it's Gansky. He'll dance around the net and stoppage.
Looks like we got a penalty here.
Let's see what that call is before we head to the break.
Looks like it's on Utah here.
And it'll be the first penalty on the day against the Grizzlies. And so Atlanta heads to the power play when we come back.
So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We're back here in Atlanta. Fans smiling, having a good time. Gladiators up by 3. Most recent goal scored short-handed by Mickey Burns, assisted by Louis Boudon. And now the Glads head to the power play for the first time today, cross-checking the call against Mick Messner before we went to break. Yeah, so now we'll see if Atlanta can add to its lead, looking for its second power play goal of the year, as the overtime winner last night was scored on a 4-on-3 power play. From the right point, Glads have it. Nychuk to the right side, back to Nychuk, high slot, fires, and his stick fails him. It breaks, and the Grizzlies clear.
Grizzlies penalty to number 10, Mick Messner. 2 minutes for crossback.
Nychuk. Slingshot pass, drops it off for Francis. He surges with speed. Nychuk keeps it alive at the right point as Friesen was pressuring. Puck scurries below the goal line. It's loose. Gladiators keep control of it. Good work there. Francis, point to the right side for Nychuk. Sylvester handles with space. Down low, has an open man in McNamee. Return pass to Sylvester. Boomerangs back to McNamee. And Utah gets a touch on it. They'll propel it down and get it clear.
Like to see a little more movement from the Gladiators in the offensive zone here on that power play. Led to that turnover there. They're a little too stationary, not moving their feet enough. I'd like to see them get a little active here.
50 seconds left on the Gladiator power play, their first of the afternoon, as the second power play unit is on the ice. Conroy takes it, glides through the neutral zone, feathers it to the left side for Lynn. Spinorama backhands it to the right side. At the half wall, Boudon surveys, feeds it to the middle. Cipollone, a drive, stopped by McKay.
Great chance there from Cipollone. Boudon would have been in the corner. Cipollone slides to a little quiet area of the ice in the bumper in between all four Grizzlies defenders. Gets a good look on the net there. Even better save by McKay there.
Face off to the left of McKay. Gladiators up to 36 shots again for the second straight game. This time they've got a little bit more to show for it. 4 goals on the board. And Utah will clear. 18 seconds left on the Atlanta power play. Gladiators enter the attacking zone. Lind on the left side gets it to Young with a goal here today. Gladiators rotate it to the right side for a quick shot by Jarvis, steered away by the stick of McKay. Boudon has it back at center. Comes running back in. Exchanges with Young. Back to Boudon on the backhand. Can't quite drive towards the net. Was mobbed by 2 Grizzlies. And Utah takes the puck away. Mick Messner with it. Skates over the red line. Looks for Ness, pass a tad behind. Grizzlies turn the puck over. And now Jarvis will look ahead.
Nothing to show for it for that Gladiators second power play unit. But I liked what they did there on that towards the tail end of that power play. They got some good zone entries, established possession, and had a couple nice chances there. Cipollone and Boudon working together there, getting a good look on net.
The Gladiators do not convert on their only power play of the day. They are 0 for 1 this afternoon. Face off to the right of Semptimphelter. 1:30 to go. Gladiators lead by 3. 4-1 the score. At the right point, ends a shot into traffic, kicked away by Semptimphelter. Puck tumbles into the attacking zone. Ends still to evade the forecheck of Burns, who has the most recent score shorthanded. Into the final 70 seconds here in Atlanta. Denemy. Over to Les. Upwards they go off the stick of Nychuk. Into the final minute we go. 50 seconds left in the third. Felton has it in open space. Time winding down. Voigt. Conversion on the wall. 30 seconds left. Lind, a developing 2-on-1 with Nolan. Lind tries to center. Diving there for a good play was Pike. Lind on the wraparound, bats it in! His first professional goal comes with 22 seconds left.
Looks like they might wave this one off here for a high stick from Lind, batting it down.
The call on the ice is no goal. And again, there is no video replay, so I don't know if we can verify that.
It was a great play by Lind, though. His 2-on-1 got broken up. He had a 2-on-1 there with Nolan that got broken up. He grabs the loose puck, wraps it around, tries to bat in his own rebound, but looks like he just A little bit above the crossbar there on the bad end.
It was close. Call on the ice, no goal. And so it is not the first professional goal for Kalen Lind. 32 seconds back on the game clock. Face off in front of the Grizzlies bench. Ness taps it into Gladiator territory from the neutral zone. Robilotti. Heinz Septenfelter feeling some heat. Gets it to the corner on the near side. Scardina lifts it out. Giving chase is Walter. 10 seconds left in the third. Grizzlies have the puck. They're going to wait it out. Atlanta, an impressive showing on offense today and defense. 4-1, your final score. TJ Septenfelter gets his first professional win, and the Gladiators improve to 2-0.
Great win here today from the Gladiators. You got to love what you saw from Coach Ginn's group today. They battled hard. They extended their lead in the third. That's exactly what you want to see from them in that third period. Get out there, get on top of Utah, extend the lead, exactly what they did. Great third period and a great game today from the Gladiators.
Saw a couple of different scenarios play out for the Gladiators this weekend. Yesterday, the Gladiators behind pretty much for the majority of the game. There were points where it was tied, but Gladiators never had the lead in yesterday's 3-2 overtime victory. Today, different story. Atlanta leaps out to a 2-0 lead, and they don't look back. The Grizzlies try and climb back into it with a goal from Felton, but the Gladiators prevail. 37 shots on goal from Atlanta, 18 for Utah. Coming up next, the postgame show here from Gas South Arena. We'll talk about how this one went, and we'll look ahead to next weekend in Orlando. Coming up in 30 seconds here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Fantastic weekend here for the Gladiators. You can't draw it up any better. What an impressive home opening weekend for Atlanta. They come out of it 2-0, 4 points on the season. They head into their first divisional matchup next weekend in Orlando on Thursday, then to Estro, Florida, play the Everglades on Friday. We'll talk about that in a moment, but first, let's recap how this one went. As Isaac Walter scores 2 in the second period to get the Gladiators on the board after the first period was scoreless. Walter's first is assisted by Firriolo and Nychuk, his second by Young and Firriolo. They give the Gladiators a 2-0 lead. As Firriolo with 2 assists on both Walter goals is your third star of the day. Firriolo 2 goals and 2 assists. This weekend, you got to think he's going to have a good chance to win Player of the Week. Your second star of the night is goaltender TJ Septenfelter. Stopped 17 of 18 today, earns his first professional win. Played 1 game with the Bridgeport Islanders last year in the AHL. This year was assigned by Milwaukee to Atlanta, and a big smile on his face. Septenfelter's your second star. He gets his first pro win. And with 2 goals here today, couldn't be any doubt as to who our first star of the night is. His first professional goal came in the second period, 6:22 in. He then backed that up with his second about 5 minutes later. Isaac Walter is your first star of the day. Number 22 is number 1 for the Gladiators. And they're going to interview him down at ice level. I don't know if our mics will pick this up, but we can try the best we can.
No, I felt great. We played great as a team. And, felt good getting that first one. And, second one as well. So. we have, and we just got to go on and keep continuing to play good and develop.
Incredible. Now, any message to your Gladiator fans tonight on opening weekend?
Thank you guys for coming. It's great having you here. Yeah, it's unbelievable. This is my first time here, and you guys are awesome. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Congratulations.
Isaac Walter, your first star of the game. 2 goals here tonight for number 22. Big smile on his face and big smiles here in Atlanta. They are 2-0 heading into their first road matchup and first divisional matchup on Thursday. So Walter gets 2 in the second period, but the Grizzlies, down by 2, are able to cut that lead into half with 2:02 remaining in the second period. Christian Felton able to get in tight for a couple of quick shots on goal. He's able to beat Sempton-Felter for the Grizzlies' only goal of the day and Felton's first of the season. It's assisted by Tyler Gratton, and it was a 2-1 Gladiator lead after 2. Atlanta held a pretty wide shot margin through 2 periods of play. 13-29 was the shot margin through 2 periods of play. The Gladiators have done a really good job of putting pucks on net this weekend. Look to continue that next week in Orlando and Florida. In the third period, though, the Gladiators did what they needed to do. They took care of business. It was a little bit slow at times in terms of pace to start the third, but when the Gladiators hit their stride about midway through the period, they hit it, and they did not look back. First, it's Alex Young popping in his first goal of the season from Walter and Denemy. So Walter ends the night with 2 goals and 1 assist. Carson Denemy, with that assist, earns his 100th career professional point. So congratulations to Carson Denemy, as all of his points have come in the ECHL. So now it is 33 goals and 64 assists, or 67 assists, excuse me, for Carson Denemy. As now he is up to 100 in his career. And Young's goal was followed up by a shorthanded tally from Mickey Burns. Great play by Louis Boudon to strip the puck away at the blue line, go in for a breakaway. McKay actually made a great save initially on Boudon, but the rebound goes to Burns, and he puts in his first goal of the year and his second pro goal. And now the Atlanta Gladiators ride into Orlando next weekend, coming off of a 4-1 victory over the Utah Grizzlies and a weekend sweep of Utah. Atlanta 2-0 heading into next Thursday's matchup in Orlando. Gladiators outshoot the Grizzlies 39-18 here today. That is a season high for Atlanta. Again, only 2 games, but you got to think the Gladiators, almost 70 shots combined. Actually, I mean, you think about how many shots they took over the course of 2 days. Bodes pretty well for the future, especially outshooting the Grizzlies 11-3 in the first, 18-10 in the second, 10-5 in the third, and a perfect day on the penalty kill. 3 for 3 for Atlanta. They do go 0 for 1 on the power play, but that's the least of their worries. Fantastic showing here today for the Gladiators.
Yeah, I think it was a big weekend for the Gladiators special teams. Last night, the power play created some momentum on that first power play, obviously scored the game winner on the power play last night. Had a really good penalty kill last night, and today, a couple more really good penalty kills today. There was a chance there that if Utah could get their power play together, they could have gotten back into this game. But the Gladiators stand tall on the penalty kill, even score a shorthanded goal. I just think special teams, huge reason that the Gladiators are 2-0 to start the season.
And really felt like that the Gladiators did a really good job of limiting the Grizzlies' chances here today. There was a bit of a breakdown there in the second period, which led to the Felton goal. Turnover from Sempton-Felter, and then another turnover again after they survived that onslaught. That led to the goal. Otherwise, would have been a perfect afternoon for TJ Sempton-Felter, who stops 17 of 18 and is named the second star of the game. But it's a pretty impressive showing for the Gladiators, not just offensively this weekend, but defensively as well.
Yeah, I thought their D-men looked very great this weekend. Able to contribute on offense, obviously, with Nychuk and Firriolo. They both had outstanding weekends. But even in their own zone, they kept a lot of the play to the outside the dots, which is what you love to see as a goalie. You don't want to let guys in between the dots into that slot area and get in high danger opportunities against Sempton-Felter there. And even when they did, I thought Sempton-Felter stood tall, made the saves when he needed to. That one goal he let in today was a tough bounce, tough turnover. And it looked like that was really the only big chances that the Grizzlies were able to have all day. Those like last 5 minutes of the second period, it was the most dangerous time of the game for the Grizzlies. And Semptimphelter only giving up one there, able to stand tall the rest of the game. I thought he had a great day for his first pro win here today.
Awesome stuff from the Gladiators this weekend. Really puts a lot of smiles on faces and a lot of optimism for what this season might hold for Atlanta. They're 2-0. You can't chalk it up any better. Great opening weekend here at Gas South Arena. Now we'll get to see what this Gladiators team is made of on the road next week. Thursday and Friday matchups, first in Orlando and then in Florida. I think it'll be a good test for this Gladiators squad, playing some teams within their own division. 2 playoff teams from last year, Florida and Orlando. So good benchmark for where the Gladiators are at here this season early on. But to kind of recap this weekend, we've seen the Gladiators come back and win in a couple of different scenarios. Yesterday, didn't lead at all. Were able to survive that and win in overtime. And then here today, scoreless first period, but then they play with the lead for pretty much the remainder of the game in the second. So, Andrew, lots of like with this Gladiators team. It seems like any time and any which way they were tested, in all scenarios, they prevailed.
Yeah, if you're head coach Matt Ginn, you have to love what you saw from your team here this weekend. Got his first 2 professional head coaching wins. So congrats to Coach Ginn here on this homestand. But I love what the Gladiators did this weekend in their own zone, in the neutral zone, in the offensive zone, all 3 zones. I thought they controlled the play all weekend for the most part, and I thought they had a great opening weekend here.
So the Gladiators improve to 2-0. They get the victory here on a Sunday afternoon. 4-1, your final score. Atlanta Gladiators defeat the Utah Grizzlies. They defeat them 4-1 and outshoot them 37-18. Excellent performance all around from Atlanta. TJ Semptimphelter's got his first professional win, and the Gladiators will ride into Orlando on Thursday with an undefeated record. Andrew, great having you on the broadcast here this weekend. Fantastic job, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Guy. I'm excited to get going the rest of the season here.
We'll be back at home against the Savannah Ghost Pirates on November 1st for the Dia de los Muertos game. Gladiators are wearing specialty jerseys for that night as well. And so I've seen those. I think those will be a little bit easier to spot than the ones that we saw here this weekend. A little white on tan on white there, so not super easy, but I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us on the broadcast this weekend. Thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. Big thank you to our crew here at Gas South Arena for the production. And once again, your final score, the Atlanta Gladiators 4, the Utah Grizzlies 1. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good afternoon and so long. We'll see you next time.